forward line for the Brown Bears. At left wing, number 26, Tommy Marchand. At center, number 20, Joachim Weberg. And at right wing for the Bears, number 14, Chris Berger. The rest of the Brown Bears, their head coach is Brendan Whitted. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for the Engineers of RPI. Leading your Engineers on the ice, please welcome tonight's junior engineer, Lucas Schmidt. Starting lineup for the Engineers, in goal, a freshman from Cambridge, Ontario, number 31, Owen Savory. On defense, a freshman from Bloomington, Minnesota, number 23, Jake Johnson. At right defense, he's a junior from Toronto, Ontario, number 24, Will Riley. The starting forward line for the Engineers, at left wing, a junior from Avon, Connecticut, number 12, Chase Zeke. At center, a junior from Mississauga, Ontario, number 16, Jacob Hayhurst. And at right wing, a junior from Phoenix, Arizona, number 17, Todd Burgess. The rest of the Engineers, their head coach is Dave Smith, assistant coaches Dan Jewell and Chuck Weber. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise and to honor our two great nations and the men and women who served and continue to serve. Please rise, remove your hats as the RPI Pep Band will play the national anthems of Canada and the United States of America.
Couple of home games here. The first home league game for RPI in 83 days. It wasn't since November the 3rd, which is my birthday. coincidentally, than RPI's last played a home league game. But here we are, and a good stretch of games in the Capital Region here, 5 straight in the Capital Region, 8 of 11 at home. So a chance for RPI to take advantage of that.
Yeah, no doubt the road trips always bond the team, always build a team spirit. Everybody gets to know each other, especially with a team with at least 10 freshmen on it typically. So this team knows each other now, knows how to play together, and hopefully the Houston Fieldhouse fans and the crowds here can help boost, especially tomorrow night at the Big Red Freakout.
It's going to be an exciting one. Goaltenders in this one for Brown. It'll be junior Gavin Yetto out of Yorba Linda, California. He's 5-5-1 with a .270 goals against average and .906 save percentage. And for the Engineers, it'll be freshman Owen Savory from Cambridge, Ontario. He's 2-7-0 with a .273 goals against average and a .926 save percentage. As we are underway from the Houston Fieldhouse, RPI in their home whites, white helmets, red pants, black and red trim, and Brown in primarily brown with white trim, brown helmets, brown pants. As it's sent through the neutral zone by the Bears. And now in center ice, Tommy Marchant turns it over to Jacob Hayhurst, who flips it in deep. Engineers on the chase, picked up behind the goal by Tony Stillwell. And then through center they come 2-on-2 to the RPI line. It's Tommy Marchant into the zone shot in from a long distance, easily held onto by Savory. 33 seconds in, we get a stoppage here, no score.
Yeah, Brown last game got a 2-0 lead on RPI, and they just couldn't catch up. They got 1 goal in the second and lost 2-1. Brown team doesn't score a lot of goals, so got to definitely get a few goals up on the board. And they don't give up a lot of goals either, so I think it'll be a close game.
Face-off win for the Bears, but it's taken away by Jacob Laka, the freshman from Bratislava, Slovakia. Takes a hit, but he does get the puck deep. Wrapped to the near side half wall and out to center ice. Back to get it, Tommy Grant, the senior from Sparta, New Jersey. This will be icing. Grant playing his 100th career game for the Engineers. He wears the C for RPI.
Money Machine,
yeah, Dave Smith out there had 3 freshmen together, all from different countries incidentally, but
donate to a
trying
charity.
to put some youth together, hopefully build a future too,
Money grab.
playing together.
Face off in the Bears' end. It was Kenya who was in net last time these two teams met. As it's played behind the goal by Hallbauer into the far corner. And now wrapped to the near side. Here's Mike Gornell at the near circle. Looking for a lane. He'll just flip it into the far corner. High off the glass. It deadens in the corner there. Played by Jallant around to the near side. Gornell trying to track it down. Flips it back to the point nicely for Hallbauer. Catches with a skate. Works it right back down low. Avoids a hit. Gornell gets wrapped up there by Max Gottlieb. And it's Gornell centering, intercepted in the middle of the ice. Good positioning by Alex Brink. And he'll flip it through center. Good connection to the near side. They move it out. A shot and a save by Savory by Bodwin. And move back out towards center ice. Another hit on Laka. He spent half the time on his bottom here so far in this shift. Now Shane Bear with a poke check in the far corner. Comes free to Hallbauer. Poked away from him. They wrestle in the far side. Jake Harris there for the Bears. Kept in at the point momentarily by Brady Shue, and now helped out to center ice by the Engineers. Tour Linden gets a whack, so does Otto Ville Lepinen. And is Lepinen trying to dig it out in front of his own bench. Moved into the RPI zone, lifted in the air on the backhand by Hallbauer. 2 minutes old this one, no score. Engineers and Bears from the Houston Fieldhouse. Chipped in, but not in. In fact, it was forced back into the RPI zone. Tommy Grant back to pick it up. He takes a hit behind the goal. Hallbauer up the wall. Laka waiting. Engineers could use a change as it's Linden to center ice. He will turn it over in the neutral zone again. Second straight time RPI has given away the puck in the neutral ice area. This is a delayed offside that forces the Bears to touch up. RPI will backtrack behind its own goal. And it is Tommy Grant. Owns 2 career goals, but I just looked it up today. They both came his freshman year, so it's been a while. He certainly do. With freak out around the corner, no better time than now. Here's Tommy Lee up the near side boards. He'll get it in deep. Behind the goal, it's Stillwell. Trying to get away from the forecheck pressure of Nick Bowman, as they'll use the near side to get it out of the zone. Race for the puck. TJ Samek back to pick it up. They wave off the icing. Poked at by Lee in the far side, stolen away by the Bears. That's Jack Gessert. Taken right back by RPI. Near side is Mears Morey's on the wing today. As he flips it far side, an indirect pass chipped off a Lee stick out of play, and we get a stoppage. 16:54 to go in the first period. No score.
Yeah, Mears Morey playing the wing today. He's been doing that periodically over his 4 years here at RPI. Not a huge guy, but usually a defenseman, but knows defensive responsibilities and plays a good fourth-line winger.
Face-off pushed ahead by Chase Zeke on this very hot top line for RPI. 16 points in 3 games combined. There'll be another icing here in this. We've seen a good number of icing calls both ways in this one, but we'll draw a face-off in this RPI offensive zone. We talked about it pregame with Coach Smith, and you were mentioning it as well, Larry, but RPI doing a much better job on the draw this year.
Yeah, they've been taking a lot more
you expect.
face-offs back to the point, and I think they've been also just clearly working on face-offs. Last year, that was a real sore point with them. I know that there's been some new centers, and that helps too. But they definitely need to win more draws. They're at 50-something% right now, so 50.3, I think, or 50.5. So.
Yeah. Good to win over half of them. And Jacob Hayhurst, he has done this is one of his better years personally in the face-off circle. Tour Linden helps as well. Jake Morello's won over half of his draws. Back to center ice goes the puck anyway. Will Riley will play catch with Jake Johnson in his own zone, and the freshman from Bloomington, Minnesota, will work it to the near side. Johnson on the carry, chips it in off the near wall in deep. Runs past Gottlieb, around for Ferrario, and now moved out by the Bears near side. A little bit too far for Berger. He'll try and track it down. Chris Berger in the near corner, big time hit there. Puck comes free to Ferner. Now a shot comes wide of the RPI cage from the far point, off the stick of Dorian Dawson. Back through center, it's Dawson to pick it up. He goes D to D in his own zone for Shue. Senior from Eden Prairie, Minnesota, gets it to the middle of the ice. Now a nice little stick handle free to Dawson. He's trying to center, fanned on the pass. It'll allow Morello to push it out to center ice. Shots are 2-0 Brown in this one. And both of those shots have come from a distance. Now a puck swatted back the other way, and a race for the puck here. Laka's going to get there first. Puck's in the far corner. He's all by himself, 1-on-3. He takes a shove into the end wall as he does battle there now with Alex Brink. Coming to help out was Morello. Now Laka in the corner. Nice job shielding. Tried to center. It's intercepted by Jallant and moved out to center ice. Back to the RPI end it goes. Kyle Halbauer takes a hit. Poked free by Grant. Picked up by Lepinen. Good connection to Laka. The 2 Europeans move it through center and in on goal from center ice. That'll be RPI's first shot. It comes off the stick of Laka. Easily moved aside there by Nieto. And now puck flipped to the RPI, or to the brown blue line, where it's moved into the zone. And it'll be spun back behind the cage. Here's Gottlieb. Near side has a chance to look up ice. Nice find at center. It's Crozier. He takes a hit, but does get it deep. Picked up there by Samek, the junior out of St. Paul, Minnesota. Mears Moore ahead for Tour Linden. Linden some space. Linden walking in. Horister right on. And a save made by Nieto. First real scoring chance, if you will, in this contest comes with 14:26 to go in the opening frame.
And neither team's been able to generate a genuine scoring chance yet. That was about as close as we've got. A lot of big hits going on, especially near the boards. Almost dangerous hits in some cases. But there's no love between these two teams. Brown last year, I believe, knocked RPI out of the playoffs with a sweep. So RPI looking for some revenge here for sure.
Draw coming up in the Bears' end. Brown won 2-1 in the previous meeting in Providence. There's a shot fanned on by Riley. And now we get a puck out of play, draw a whistle.
Ben & Jerry's located by
I made a mistake. 21. I said it was
Don't forget to stop
Kenya
by
in goal. It wasn't Nieto in the previous meeting. And he made I remember watching that game. He made 3 or 4 highlight reel saves to keep that one 2-1.
Yeah, he's a good goalie. He's an upperclassman, and he's a junior out of California, and he's a good goalie. Brown has always had a good string of goalies. Jan Dennis had some NHL time, so.
They always seem to put together a good run of goaltenders for this program, going all the way back. Anyway, Bears looking to break out of their own zone. It's thrown off a skate, flipped up the boards, and now gathered up by Mears Moore at his own blue line. Near side, chipped in deep by Lee. Back behind the cage, Gottlieb. Gets run into by Bowman. Bowman nearly stole it away, but too many Bears in the area. And will be turned around by Hayhurst, top of the far circle. Hayhurst walking in, a shot, and he fired it wide. Picked up by Ferner on the pinch. Back towards the point. Bowman has it there. Bowman will step into a wrist shot, hit a shin pad, hit his teammate. I think it hit to Ferner. You're not going to see a forward hit his own defenseman's leg too many times, so that's what happened there. Now Hayhurst trying to move it back to the point. Intercepted and cleared out to center. Todd Burgess back to claim it. Junior out of Phoenix, Arizona. He'll work it back to Riley. And now Will Riley, one of the assistant captains for these Engineers, will work it up the far side wall for Hayhurst. Working on a 5-game point streak as Hayhurst includes 9 points, a goal and 8 assists. Turned back by Schur. Return feed from Gottlieb. Brown captain up the near side boards into the zone for the other captain, Marchand. It's stolen away by Riley. Marchand with that long reach trying to win it back. He's the top point man for these Bears. Shot comes in from a distance from Schur, and it's held on to there. Will Schur listed, or Shearer, excuse me. He's listed as the 7th defenseman there, and he got a pretty good shot off the senior from St. Charles, Missouri.
Yeah, it was a good screen there in front of Savory. That was the first shot that I think he had to look around the player to see, and came up with it right between his pads. Neither team being able to get any flow going. There's a lot of turnovers and just not a lot of opportunities to score yet. Both teams hesitate a little bit in their own zone, getting hit, losing the puck.
RPI women's hockey in action tonight. They're at Yale 1-1 late in the second period there. Lavisa Solander, of note, she just pulled into 3rd place all time in total saves. She's we'll say on pace. We don't like to talk about on pace until they get there, but on pace to break the all-time saves record this season if she continues at her current rate of stops. But anyway, 1-1 there. Also, more importantly, RPI women's hockey looking to make the playoffs, finishing in the top 8, and points on the road this weekend would go a long way into that. A goal.
Yeah, any points on the road are good points.
Here we have the first of 2 on the weekend. It's Brown tonight, and then the 42nd Big Red Freakout. RPI's played Yale 5 times in the Big Red Freakout, and they have a losing record, so looking to even things tomorrow night. Well, they do have a very memorable win when the Bulldogs were #1 in the country a number of years back. They beat them 3-2 or 5-2 here. Excuse me, blew them out of the building. Here's icing here on RPI. Send the draw back to their own end. 12:41 to go, no score. Engineers and Bears.
I was here for that game, and that was some game because I remember coming in. There was no chance of winning, according to most of the fans that I sit with, and it wasn't even a close game.
Right, blew them out. In a packed house. I mean, when this place gets a 5-2 freak out, it feels like 10-2.
Almost looked like the JV team got on the bus for Yale or something.
Right. Well, Engineers will gladly take a similar result tomorrow. RPI breaking to center. It's Mike Gornall. Near side for Morello. Morello walking in, and a glove save by Nieto. Not going to beat him on that shot.
And don't forget,
but good to see the Engineers, generating chances off the rush there. Mike Gornall with good patience to the neutral zone, waiting for Morello to join, and created maybe a 4-on-3 type situation.
If you're not generating any opportunities with skating up the ice, then getting the shot on goal, get a face-off in the zone, control the face-off, get back to the point, and get a shot. Probably a little better opportunity of scoring the way this game's going.
Draw in the Bears' end. Shots are 3-3 right now.
There you go.
And a face-off win back to Riley, wrist and wide. Rebound and a save by Nieto on the back door. Big time stop there. As Engineers still on the attack. And we get a whistle, and Matt Brady says offside. Now all the linesmen up in the stands say he is wrong. But folks watching on RPI TV, it wasn't a save. It hit the post. It was a tight angle shot, though, for Burgess.
That was a tough angle. His best bet was to bank it off the goalie, but did not go in.
So a face-off coming in the neutral ice area. 12:20 to go in the first period. Still scoreless here. You can usually expect low-scoring games between these two clubs, and occasionally it was the malfunction of the replay the last couple of years ago when Brown visited, so I'm sure that's not completely out of their minds. Turned into a 3-3 tie for RPI, but it looked like the Bears probably should have won if not for technical difficulties. Anyway, Brown moving into the offensive zone far side. Good tie up there, although Riley fell down. Back to his feet as he digs away with Brink. As Jake Johnson there as well. The scrap continues towards the half wall, but it's not progressing all that much farther. Finally kicked out and turned out by Beaudoin to the point. Wrist shot coming. That one hammered wide off the stick of Shoe. It goes right back behind the goal. Brink far side corner. Steps into Riley, who goes down in front of him. Puck's underneath Riley. Nice find there. Dawson near point. Wrister and a save by Savory to the near corner. Now Bodwin in that near corner with Johnson. Worked out by Hayhurst. Trying to skate it to center. He finds Zeke, gets it back. Hayhurst tries to make a move. Little toe drag. Plays it back and he couldn't find him. Rebound put wide by Burgess on the backhand. A chance almost out of nothing there after the nice toe drag move by Hayhurst. And Brown's going to move it right back into RPI territory, get it changed. 10:55 to go in the first period. Shots are even at 4 apiece. And now a stretch pass up the wall, tipped in deep by Brady Whiffen. Out to play Nieto. Shoots it up the glass, knocked down by Whiffen. He'll work it right back down low. Whiffen has found his scoring touch as of late. 3 goals and an assist in his last 5 games. He'll work it down low into the corner now behind the cage. Does battle there with Stillwell. And now moved out by Crozier. And he'll spin things around in his own zone to create some space. Freshman Tristan Crozier out of Calgary, Alberta. He'll eventually get it deep. It'll be played around by Kyle Haubauer, freshman from Howell, New Jersey. It'll be lobbed into the Bears' end, and it will be icing here as the Engineers did not cross that red line, or what's left of it. They kind of gouged it here with the design. There's not much red left in the red line here.
No, there's a lot. Almost looks like an outline.
Yeah,
they've gone back and forth on this game, just back and forth, and there's churning up a lot of snow. So all the markings on the ice are getting pretty difficult to see.
The blue line's still solid. I think it has to be by rule. You can do it.
It's solid, but it's covered with white stuff.
That's absolutely true. Chip towards center by Morello. Whiffen trying to wait for it. Comes down next to him. It'll be carried into the zone by the Bears the other way. Trying to walk their way in. Good play by Haubauer to just pin his man. That was Colin Burston off the puck. Allows the Engineers to move it back to center ice. Poked in deep by the reach of Whiffen. Took an awkward hit there as he broke his stick in half. He'll head back to the bench. Both teams changing anyway. Shot down the middle, tipped to the near boards and in by Marchant. He takes a hit. It was actually, Burston there. And now Burston behind the goal. I think that Crozier. He's wrapped up by Lee. Marchant comes to help out. Stolen away by Moore, who moves it along for Bowman, who just iced the puck again. And first one down. Gottlieb will draw the whistle. 9:25 left in this first period. You spend so much time away from the Houston Fieldhouse. You want to come here and impress your home fans, and you just don't want that frustration to set in. You're in a 0-0 game. No one's really had the upper hand, so there's still plenty of time for this game to develop.
Yeah, I think both teams are getting their legs going, but at the same time, between the blue lines, there's a lot of hits and a lot of turnovers.
One back to the point, shot way wide from Guattari, and that'll go over the top. And Zach Guattari, one of the more dynamic defensemen for this team. They always seem to have a couple. You have Gottlieb, Guattari, Shu, Ferrario. These are guys that can move the puck, and that's what the Engineers have to be aware of course.
Yeah, they have solid defensemen.
Immediate timeout.
We have a stoppage here to clean off some snow. Tell you about what we have
RPI
coming
would
up.
like to welcome Troy Albany
the shovels out. Intermission. We have ECAC Hockey's interview they did with the RPI freshman goalie Owen Savory as part of their weekly radio or podcast. So we'll have that Savory interview in our first intermission. Second intermission, we'll talk a little ECAC hockey here with our, I guess you call him guest. Larry is here for the weekend, so we'll give Larry a chance to give us his insight into what he's seen from RPI this year and in the recent past. So we'll talk to Larry a bit during our second intermission. Here we have 9:17 to go in the first period. Low shot totals here, 4 apiece, and a 9:17 on the clock in a scoreless game. Pretty much what do you expect from these two clubs, although the Engineers have in their recent winning ways have found a chance to get that first goal a number of times.
Yeah, the first goal is going to be important here because it's going to give one of the two teams a lot more confidence. Right now, both teams very hesitant with the puck, being very outside chance of scoring type shots on goal, and nobody's really taking a chance to cut in or make a dazzling play or a headman play or anything.
Now Laka is going to feed this one down, and again it'll be icing. He's trying to be a little bit too neat with that pass. He was trying to make a look ahead for Linden, and
yeah, I'm not sure that was really a good pass. More like a dump up the ice, and that's what we've been saying here. Just lots of dumps up the ice. Yeah, there's a big difference between a headman pass and a dump up the ice.
Draw, yeah.
If you're going to dump and chase, you got to get over that red line.
Face off again. This time won by the Engineers. Riley fanned on it once. Laka was tied up, comes free to Linden. Linden to center. On for Johnson joining the play. Jake Johnson holding it back towards the blue line. He'll spin it up the wall. Tipped in the air to the middle of the near circle. Trying to find it. It's going to be moved out by the Bears, and to the center ice was picked up by Laka. Laka trying to one-hand it into the zone. Picked up there by Lepinen. Otto Ville Lepinen gets spilled to the ice, lifted to center, bouncing puck, tracked down by Grant in the corner. They wave off the icing here. Now Brady Ferner, freshman from Dakota Dunes, South Dakota, finds Hayhurst, but he lost the puck and then takes a hit. As it was, there was a man offside, couldn't touch it. That was Berger for the Bears. Now in front of the Bears bench, Todd Burgess is wrapped up there. 8:15 left, first period, no score. Engineers and Bears from the Houston Fieldhouse. Now moved along and out of the zone by Zeke.
More turnovers between the blue lines.
Gottlieb picks it up. He'll throw it off the end wall to his defensive partner on the near side. That's Ferrario. Good pass far side, but it's broken up in the end by Burgess. Thought he had Gottlieb, but Burgess turns him over. Far side half wall, Bears end. Nice spin to get out of danger by Gottlieb, and he works it to the far side for Crozier into the RPI zone. Crozier off of a teammate skate, fed to the middle of the ice, swatted out of there by Hayhurst, but again, or by Ferner, excuse me, again, this is going to be icing, and that time was more of a reactionary play by Ferner, but deemed that he had control of the puck when he shot it. A lot of times if you just chop at a puck, you might get the benefit of the doubt that you weren't, hitting it down, but that was clearly an icing against RPI again.
Absolutely, another icing, another defensive zone faceoff for RPI. The Brown guy entering the puck with the puck over there on the left wing, he wound up hitting the linesman and bounced right back onto his stick.
Well, the good news for RPI fans and for the Engineers is they're outdrawing the Bears 12-3 right now, which makes these icing calls a little, less painful to take. Although this shot comes in through skates and goes wide into the far corner. Engineers end. In the far side now, fighting for it is Jollant. And now stolen away, high slot. Fanning on one try there was Brink. He'll spin back towards the top of the circle, feed it on goal. Easy stick save by Savory. Behind the goal, Marchant trying to center. Blocked by Burgess, who chased him there. As it's actually Shear there. Lifted out to center ice and all the way down. Will this be icing?
No, I don't think so.
It won't. Didn't have the legs. Shear back to pick it up for the Bears. Working up the far side boards. Mishandled a bit by Jollant. And flipped in deep in the end. Tipped deep by Bodwin. His Savory there. Leaves it aside for Hallbauer. To the near side corner. Moved along by Lee. Trying to find more. The Engineers just seem a little bit out of sync right now as Tommy Lee will work it from behind the goal, finding Bear. Shane Bear up the far side, on further for Lee. Stick handling into the zone, drop pass. Bowman, wrist shot and a shoulder save by Nieto. A good stop there, a good build-up for RPI on that chance. As they carry it right back in, stick handling. Hallbauer on his way in, finally took a shoulder check by Ferrario, knocked him off the play. Back comes Taylor for the Bears. He'll cross center and dump it in. Coming up on 6 minutes to go in the first period. No score, RPI and Brown. As it's moved up by Moore. Gets tripped up a bit, lost the puck. Puck goes behind the RPI cage. Hallbauer's wrapped up and taken down. And we play on as Bear will skate it ahead. Shane Bear near side for Moore. He'll move into the neutral zone. He'll cross center, cross corner, dump in. Nieto stops it behind the cage. RPI changes all 5. Shots are even at 5 apiece with 5 and change to go in the first. Through the middle of the ice, good stick lift there. Weberg couldn't corral. Now here's TJ Samick. A little bit of pressure. Left aside for Riley. Down the middle past Morello. Shot back in and actually up into the netting. Another stoppage here.
RPI doing a really good job behind their own net. They're taking the body on Brown quite a bit and coughing the puck up is Brown and coming out of the scrum with a good chance to clear the zone and getting it out of the zone. I don't see Brown really doing that very much, forechecking in their own zone. We're kind of handling it and clearing the puck out without much problem, which is a good thing. We have some kind of timeout here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what. This might be the media stoppage here. I think it is. 5:19 on the clock. I can never tell quite when they do these. I think that there are set times. I just don't always pay attention. Looks like we got some some kids that are about to take the ice here between periods. I hope so, or else there's or else the takeover going on in the corner over here to our left. Anyway, we do have RPI hockey here on the WRPI this weekend. And it's always an exciting weekend. Alums coming back for the noon alumni game tomorrow.
Yeah, I haven't seen the list. Usually I get the list ahead of time. I haven't seen the list, but I'm hoping that there's a few guys back from my era. And usually they're getting there in terms of being able to play hockey anymore. But I know a few of them have hung up the skates. But it's always good to see people come back.
Absolutely. And so RPI, I know Luke Karati's coming back because he told me personally, but he's the only one I know.
Oh, Luke's back?
He's coming back.
Well, it'll just be good for...
He finally retired from playing, so this is an opportunity for him to come back.
So he's working out at the Chester School out in Connecticut.
He's working, he's back in near his hometown, so that's good. He'll be back up to play for the first time, so I'm looking forward to that.
Just saw a picture of him at the UConn game a couple days ago.
Oh, yeah. He didn't recognize me. I had a beard. 5:10 to go in the first period. Worked up the near side wall and then flipped in deep. Will Riley back to pick it up behind his own goal. Give it away in the far circle. Turning with it. Trying to find a lane was Burston. And it's picked up here by Gorno. Nearly kind of a hospital pass towards Whiffen, but he's able to get it towards the point. And it'll be shot back in. Picked up by Riley again. Spun up the boards. Past everybody.
Hit the lines.
Hit the lines, man. Couldn't find it through all that on those legs. Engineers finish the job and get it deep. Gathered up by Weberg in the Brown end. He'll flip it to center. Leppinen carries it back in. Poked off his stick by Berger. Not a lot of room for RPI to work in the offensive zone so far. It seems like as soon as they get there, there's 3 or 4 sticks around to break things up.
Yeah, both goalies are probably sleeping by now. It's been 16 minutes and they've only faced 5 shots, and most of them pretty easy ones.
Leppinen going to flip it in. And he goes behind the cage. Picked up there by Laka. Off for Leppinen. Twisting and turning in the near corner. He's pinned up by Jatari. And now behind the goal, Stillwell takes a hard hit from Laka. Laka trying to work himself free. Laka centering feed. Too many men there. Burner a shot. He scores! There are 2 men on the back door. Leppinen and Linden. The puck popped free, and Brady Ferner picks up goal number 2 of his collegiate career.
Yep, the other was waving for goaltender interference call, but I don't think he's going to get it here. That was a puck that went out to the middle, and nobody saw it except Mr. Ferner, who put it home. Nice little wrister from right in the middle. We haven't seen many shots from that area between the circles.
Yeah, both Leppinen and Linden were trying to get on the end of that Laka pass. Neither of them, it looked like almost collided. But luckily for RPI, Brady Ferner was in the right place at the right time. He was able to fire it home through traffic. Yep. 1-0 RPI. Now we're going to get to Brennan Whitted, the head coach of these Bears, is having a discussion here with our officials. In his 10th year is Whitted, and he's seen enough of this place. A number of, I think he's been here for 2 or 3 freakouts. And then, of course, the play I mentioned, which was a call here made that looked like the Bears had, I believe it scored, but they couldn't review it because the replay system malfunctioned.
I remember that.
And it ended up being a 3-3 tie.
I remember that. The Brown fans were not happy.
the ones that existed, right?
I always love seeing the Brown band go home sad.
Well, they're not here today, so. They're
not here today, no. They've been here, though, before, so.
Yeah.
Looks like they're going to put it under review. I don't think this is goaltender interference.
It's going to be, yeah, I'd like to see it again. He had the 2 RPI players at that far post. From first glimpse, I couldn't tell. Well, Linden's in the crease.
Yeah, but he's trying to get away, and the Crozier's just hooking him to death.
Yeah, the saving grace for him is that Crozier is impeding him.
He makes contact with the goalie. The shot is not there, and he's being hooked. He can't move.
That's as close as it gets, Larry. That's as close as it gets for me. I could see this going either way. He went into the crease on his own. That's where, you know what I'm saying, though? He went into the crease on his own, which is the argument Brown has.
Well, he was out of the crease when that contact happened.
Right.
I think it's going to be a good goal. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, well, I'm horrible at predicting these, so I'm not going to say anything, but I could see this going either way, which is the most...
Well, with these referees, you never know. So I've learned that over the years.
You tend to lean with the call on the ice, but...
well, you do have to have evidence to overturn it.
Right. And the
call on the ice stands until...
The cameras in this building are so high quality that they leave little doubt, unless, of course, the whole system malfunctions, which I'm sure Brown doesn't want to hear me talk about anymore. So I'll stop talking about that game, and we'll talk about the current.
Here they come.
And they say no goal.
Oh, they say no goal. You got me there.
Yeah, I had a feeling. I had a feeling. So no goal.
The officials have ruled no goal.
Let's see what happens
due to goaltender interference.
I tend to agree.
No goal.
It comes from the contact made before the shot, not allowing Nieto to be in position to make the save. I think that's what they have to. He went into the crease on his own. Okay, he's in the crease on his own. He's making contact, and yeah, like I said, it's as close as it gets. That is as close as it gets, and so I don't have an argument.
Yeah, I think you're right. He definitely made contact with the goalie. I thought he was trying to get out. He was hooked.
I think all those things can be true. Face-off coming in the neutral zone.
All right, we'll have to
wipe it away. Wipe it away. Have to do it again. So no goal for Ferner. And a 0-0 game. 3:53 left in the period. Now Burgess, a wrist shot, blocked down into the corner. Around the goal, Bodwin. Into the skates of Brink, and he'll use the end boards to play it around to the far side for Gottlieb. Gottlieb through center, stolen away by Burgess. He'll fire it back in wide, a goal, helped to the corner by the blocker of Nieto. 3.5 to go, and once again a scoreless first period. We had a goal, but it was washed away on goaltender interference. And now back come the Bears. Bodwin into the RPI zone. He'll shoot it deep. Mike Gornell there, backhands it to the near wall. Zeke, stolen away by Brink. And now Bear, the junior transfer from UMass Amherst, lost in the corner. Puck goes behind the goal. Spinning with it there is Brink. Looking for a centering feed. Still Brink. He'll carry it towards the near side circle, now to the blue line. Still Brink on the move, trying to get around Bear. Still Brink for lap number 2. Bears had enough, and now we get a whistle, and they're going to get Bear for holding, it looks like.
That's the call.
As 2:49 to go in the first, we'll have our first power play of the game. It's going to go to the Bears as Shane Bear, who's not a Bear, he's an engineer, is going to the box.
I think that became a little bit of a physical battle, Bear being the smaller player.
Yeah, he had seen enough of Brink taking laps around the RPI zone, and I guess he held him.
I guess he did. Let's put it this way. He spun around and went down.
Yeah, that's true.
Whether he held him or that's another story.
Sometimes I do that when I get tired on skating, though. So.
Shane Bear.
That can happen.
Face off in the RPI zone. Penalty kill for RPI comes in at 78.5%, 62 of 79 killed. And it's the Bears who win the draw. Marching down low. Lost it, did Berger. Fed back to the point. They keep it alive. Far side circle in front, looking for the redirection that didn't come from Berger. Kept in by Marchand on the near side. Far side connection as they work it closer. Jatari, Gottlieb, back to Jatari. And now Marchand on the near side, walking in. Wrist shot blocked by Grant, who leads the team in that department. It'll be flipped along to the far side. Whiffen trying to clear. He can't do it. Kept alive at the far point, trying to get it out of the zone, and they keep it in. Just inside the blue line. Remember, the whole puck has to cross the line. Jatari, near side to Marchand. At the top of the near circle, no, all the way to the point with it. Fed up top for Gottlieb. And now Jatari into the middle. Player went down in the middle of the ice there. That was Maloney. As it shot around to the near side corner, Marchand. He's wrapped up by Grant. 1:42 to go in the period. 53 on the power play. Kept in near point. This entire power play so far has been inside the RPI zone. There's a good stick by Grant to break up the pass, but the Bears keep the puck. Wired pass to the far point. Diving effort there by Morello. Can't clear. Jatari back checking. There was Morello to break it up. Everybody's tired now, even the power play guys. And now a chance to clear. Ferner's going to slap it all the way down.
Yeah, he gets a well-needed change. Good penalty killing. Kept it on the outside almost the entire time. And a couple of really close ones where we almost went over the blue line. Finally, Morello comes in from behind the guy and gets the puck, and then Zeke clears.
Minute to go in the first period. 12 seconds on the power play. About a minute 30. The first minute 30 of that power play was spent in the RPI zone, although no real scoring chance comes of it. 3 seconds to go in the power play. Stillwell has it right away from him, and still in the zone. Shot coming over the top. Off the stick of Bodeman. Now out of the box of the Engineers. 5 skaters aside with 40 seconds to go in the period.
Last minute of play.
Crozier hands it off there for Dorian Dawson. And now flip to the RPI line. Lifted back on further through neutral ice. Turned around and shot deep by Weberg. And now Johnson for Riley in the near corner. 20 seconds to go in the period. Ahead for Zeke. Fanned on the dump in. Second try. Got it as far as Shu, who's standing in the middle of his own zone. Now he gives it away to Hallbauer. 12 seconds to go. 4-on-2. Hallbauer walking in. Fanned on the first try. Second try. Kicked away by Nieto. Puck behind the cage with 5. Hayhurst. 2 seconds to go in the period. Back to the point. Shot coming. And it's blocked down.
Wow.
At the horn. Don't think it would have counted, but good flurry there for RPI at the end of the period. And shots are 5 apiece. We have a whole lot of action, but no shots down the stretch. The glaring statistic that stands out here, 15-4, RPI winning faceoffs. And when they had all those early icing calls and kind of a scramble play, not a lot of stops and starts, the Engineers were able to kind of weather the storm with those faceoff wins.
I agree. I think both teams are going to get a good talking to on puck management, making sure they don't turn the puck over between the blue lines. Every time somebody gets the puck, they try to get it up the ice, and it goes right back the other way before it even gets near the goal. So I think that both teams will be talked to about trying to get rushes going and get the puck deep and try to get some scoring opportunities, because you can't play the game turning it over, play a pass between the 2 blue lines unless you're like a squirt team playing the ice the short way across. They're really got to do better at generating some flow to the game and keeping the puck on their sticks.
We're going to take a quick break and be back here from, we'll have the interview with Owen Savory, provided to us by ECAC Hockey, coming up in our first intermission. Your score after 20 minutes, RPI nothing and Brown nothing. You're listening to live coverage of RPI Hockey on 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy.
That's so cute.
Hey, thank you, guys. Let's have a nice round of applause for the Troy Albany Youth Hockey Mites. And now we direct your attention to the Engineer Pride area at the west end of the building for tonight's CEFQ Money Grab in the CEFQ Money Machine. Tonight's contestant, let's welcome Mary Hughes. Mary will have 60 seconds to grab as much money as she can while it's flying around inside that CEFQ Money Machine. She gets to keep everything she grabs, and CEFQ will count it up, match it, and donate that amount to charity. She'll have 60 seconds as soon as they get the cash in the CEFQ Money Machine and crank it up. Here it goes. And remember, for all your banking, insurance, and investment needs, visit CEFQ on Hoosick Street in Troy or here on campus at the Rensselaer Union. Halfway home, Mary, halfway there. Keep grabbing the cash. "15 seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Mary Hughes, our contestant tonight in the CEFQ Money Machine Money Grab. Let's have a round of applause for her. Thank you, Mary, for participating. CEFQ will count up the amount of money she won. She gets to keep it. They'll match that total and donate it to a local charity. CEFQ, the CEFQ Money Machine. Hey, don't forget, get your tickets to the Capital Region's Mayor's Cup. The RPI men's and women's hockey teams take on Union College Tuesday, January 29th at the Times Union Center in downtown Albany. Puck drops for the women at 4 and the men at 7. Stop by the Houston box office and purchase your tickets today. the RPI Pep Band. Hey, if you're thinking of buying or selling a home, contact Jolene Morris with the Brewer Morris team at Howard Hanna Real Estate Services. Call them at 518-331-1579. The top sales team in Rensselaer County, so let Jolene's expertise move you. United Way of the Greater Capital Region has created an emergency fund to support local residents impacted by the federal shutdown. To donate, visit UnitedWayGCR.org or text SHUTDOWN to 313-131.
You inside the Houston Fieldhouse here on the campus of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in Troy, New York. RPI and Brown getting set for the start of period number 2. We are scoreless through one period of play. I'd like to remind you that before we get started with the second period, we'd like to thank the Rensselaer Union, which provides funding for WRPI and all the club-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of RPI hockey, football, and baseball. A reminder, WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Of course, your browser at WRPI.org. You pick up our broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So long as WRPI is broadcasting, we'll provide that broadcast on our internet feed. Once again, that's WRPI.org. Terry Lascaris, Larry Pulverant here up top, but not as high as we have been in the past. Up on top of the catwalk. We're now just in the press box, newly renovated. We don't have to climb any ladders. It's much more comfortable.
Much easier. Very nice. Very nice. We got a good view from here. Almost about the same view I get from my seats that I had for years. And it's good. Very nice.
Getting set to start the second. What do you think, Larry?
Well, I think both teams, again, are going to be talking about how do we get some more scoring chances. It seems like RPI's breakout is very good. Their forecheck, I think, a lot better than Brown is in the Brown zone, but getting through the middle has been a problem. Both teams turning it over, just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, with really no shots or even opportunities for shots. Nothing from the middle, for sure. And you know, it's going to take some team to break through and figure out what works to get this thing going.
Engineers win the draw on the design play to fire it ahead to Hayhurst, who backhands it through the slot. Blind backhand pass from behind the goal. We get a whistle here, and the net's off.
Yeah, that was nowhere near Burgess, but that was the play, was to pass it into the center for Burgess.
Well, that was a good setup. When you feel like you have a chance to win the draw, like the Engineers did cleanly there, you can kind of set up plays to start a period like that. It was one directly back to the defenseman Johnson, who just fired it up, like intentionally iced the puck, if you will, and Hayhurst beat everyone down the ice and threw it in front of the goal. Unfortunately for the Engineers, there was nobody there.
Yeah, I think they're looking for some kind of spark, some kind of breakthrough on the offense.
Well, another face-off win for the Engineers. They're now 16 and now 17 wins and 4 losses on the draw. That's a dominant effort so far for RPI. Haven't turned it into a goal that's counted yet, as Burgess will keep it in along the near side wall. Glove down by Todd Burgess, tried to step through a check, lost it there. The Bears have it, and they move it up the far side wall. Berger into the zone, poked off of Weberg's stick, and now picked up by Burgess. Tried to send it back to Riley, who gloves it in the air. Going to be a hand pass as soon as Johnson touches it. Yeah, he kind of lofted it towards Riley, and it could have been a 2-on-1 if Riley didn't handle that well. He just kind of hot-potatoed the puck out of the zone with his glove.
He just used his glove. Very smart, alert move. Shows the hockey sense that Will Riley has. Very, very smart.
Draw coming up in the RPI zone after the hand pass. Just 38 seconds into period number 2. We are scoreless. And getting tossed from the circle was Beaudoin, but the Bears win the draw anyway, and a shot goes wide from the point by Gottlieb.
Nothing on net.
And moved along by Whiffen. He gets upended, moving his way into the near side corner. Shot around behind the goal. Alex Brink, senior from Hamilton, New York, where Colgate University is located. Now Jolin a couple of opportunities to try and center. They're both broken up by the skate of Grant. Now it pops back to the near point. Gottlieb spun far side. Ferrario down low. Brink, a backhander, goes wide. And now picked up on the near side by Brent Beaudoin. Morello to center for Whiffen. He'll cross the red line and gets it deep off of Gottlieb.
Yeah, that backhander by Brink was a pass. Man, nobody even touched the puck. It went right through the middle.
Stolen at center ice by Tuur Linden. Played near side for Laka. Laka trying to lift it on further. Hit the skate of Gottlieb, but the Engineers get it deep into the near corner. Working himself free is Ferraria, stolen away by Linden, who fires it wide from the slot. Kind of turn and spun. He was on his heels, still able to get a decent amount on that attempt, as the Bears have it, and they break to center. Gottlieb fired a pass off the stick of Maloney. Savory out to play it, helps it into the near corner. Laka trying to move it through center ice, ends up behind the intended target, Lepinin. Lifted back into the RPI zone off the skate of Bear. Corralled by the Bears. Near side for Shu. Couple of whacks there for Laka.
Just say the Bears.
And Maloney gets dumped by Bear. And then stolen away by Linden, and Tuur Linden's wrapped up, and he goes down. Penalty coming up on Brown. An offensive zone penalty on Tristan Crozier.
Calling that a trip. Could have been a hook.
Could have been a hook.
Could have been a whole bunch of things.
Yeah. Take your pick. RPI is going on the power play for the first time. Engineers in a bit of a cold spell until their last time out against UConn. They were 2 for 3. They're at 12.7% on the year, 9 out of 71.
Yeah, Linden did a good job there of keeping the skates moving, and the guy just ripped him down. No choice.
Bears penalty kill 80.8%, run of the mill 59 out of 73
Brown
killed
penalty
off.
to number 16, Tristan Crozier. He receives 2 minutes for
We get a draw here.
Time of the penalty,
in the
2 minutes, 25 seconds.
Zone.
16 of
Face-off,
Brown Crozier on a
power play
trip.
number 1. Here we go.
At
There's the words we want.
2:25.
Whiffen at the near point.
Denise
Going to work it
Stewart
back down
Jones,
low.
Hacker
Hayhurst quickly to the
Murphy,
point
power
for Bear.
play for the Engineers.
Shane Bear walking his way in. Finds Hayhurst in the near circle. Back up top for Bear. Far side connection to Burgess. Now Burgess, Hayhurst, a one-timer, goes high. And now a giveaway and a chance for the Bears to break short-handed. Not a whole lot of pace to it, but they move it into the zone, pulling back and taking a shot that tips over the top off the stick of Brink.
It was a good play by the Bears. RPI looked a little slow getting back on that. It was 3-on-2 for a little bit, and gave them an opportunity. So they'll get an offensive zone face-off, the Bears, and we'll see what they do with it. But RPI winning face-offs pretty consistently throughout this game. Here comes the other unit. But Hayhurst stays on the ice.
Yeah. Zeke got a goal with this group last time out against UConn. One of his 2 on the evening. He had 3 points in the game, also an assist in front of 80 family members in Hartford. Looking to get that group going here. Right now, RPI looking to break out of its own zone. Hayhurst spins it far side. Some speed for Leppinen. 2-on-2 into the zone with Zeke. He'll pull up at the wall and just try to work it down low. Glove down in that far corner. Lifted out and all the way down the ice. Oh, and Savory will settle down the puck behind his own goal. A little bit of pressure comes from Bodwin. Picked up there by Leppinen. Otto Ville Leppinen from Espoo, Finland will turn things around. RPI looks to break out again.
Not sure why Zeke didn't just take that puck up the boards. And I don't know why he stopped to make another kind of play, and that gave Brown time to knock it away.
The Engineers get it deep, but quickly the Bears clear again. 38 seconds to go on the power play. Hasn't amounted to much. Now Mears Moore gets pressured by Brink, and he'll try to waste some time behind the RPI goal. Stolen back by the Engineers, Will Riley. Stick handling, drops it off for Laka. He'll carry in near side. Fakes a drop pass. Still Laka on the move. Near side circle. Firing a shot down low. Whiffin. An opportunity there. And it was turned away by Nieto. To the far point. Laka fakes a slap shot. Pulls it back. Finds Hallbauer. Hallbauer walking in. A shot and a save. Rebound picked up there by Laka. Hayhurst. 6 to go in the power play. Tried a cross ice feed. It was broken up, and Hayhurst will pull it out of the zone as the Engineers have to reset.
Brown
out of the box
returns
comes
to full strength.
Crozier, and there was a hit at center. Hayhurst took a spill, but he looks fine as it's moved out by Dawson. Bears lifting it high in the air towards the RPI zone. This is offside, and it's shot out by RPI. Picked up again by Lee. Tommy Lee stick handling, crosses center and dumps it in. Bouncing puck, skips by Shu. Shu throws his man into the end wall. That's Burgess. Puck comes free to the near corner. Weber taken over, but fed back behind for Shu. Pressure comes from Bowman. All the way down the ice, he finds Marchand. Marchand walking in. A shot and a save. And a rebound is covered up. There's going to be a hook or a slash on Grant.
Not sure for what.
Yeah, it was a slash, and he looked like he got Marchand, who was trying to make a nice move to get loose. And that's the replay. The hit on Burgess or Hayhurst.
Marchand is Brown's leading scorer, upperclassman, and certainly a leader on this team.
RPI penalty to number 4, Tommy Grant. He receives 2 minutes for slashing.
Second power play for the Bears. They're, of course, 0 for 1. No score here. 14:51 to go in the second period. You are listening to live coverage of RPI hockey on 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy. Perry Lascaris, Larry Pulverant here at the Houston Fieldhouse. Engineers trying to kill off their second penalty here. Keep this game scoreless. RPI had a goal overturned, reversed, disallowed. Doesn't want to call it in the first on a goaltender interference. RPI able to clear it all the way down. It's on goal. Helped around behind by the goaltender Nieto.
Not sure helped is the right word. I think he almost confused his defenseman.
Well, he kept the puck out of his own net, which was priority number 1.
That's what he did.
The shot did come in from 200 feet on goal. Now Bodwin working it up the near side, chopped towards the point. Stillwell has it there, pressured by Gornell, forced him out of the zone, trying to find the puck. He ended up losing his stick, did Gornell. Now in a good break up in the neutral zone by Linden. He'll take a change as the Bears move it in. Stillwell on the carry. Still Stillwell. Back to the point. Crozier near side for Jolin. Now Crozier again to the far point. Stillwell. Far side into the skates of his intended target. It's held on to there by Weber. Down low, Bodwin holding. Back up top for Weber. Now Stillwell again. Looking. Far side circle. Engineers packed in tight here. As the shot comes in, redirected in a toe save by Savory. RPI able to clear. A bouncing puck will be knocked down by Stillwell at center ice. 35 to go in the power play. Still scoreless here. Tommy Marchand tried to make a move. Picked away by Zeke, and he clears it all the way down.
It's a good clear because the first clear didn't make it all the way down, so they couldn't change.
23 seconds to go on the Bears power play. Here's Gottlieb. Drops it off.
Dangerous pass.
Near side, Berger walking his way in. Tried to give it off to the boards. Ends up picking it up himself as it goes behind the RPI cage. Flip to the near corner. Morello going to try and get it out of the zone. Turns back behind his own goal. Ferner falls down. Finds Whiffin along the far boards. RPI looks to break. They're back to even. Fed to the near side. Morello's going to be the first one to it in the near corner. He feeds it past Gottlieb. Spinning with it is Morello. He ends up going down. And now Berger will carry up the far side wall. Look ahead, looking for Marchand again. He's offside. He ends up upending Johnson inadvertently, fans want interference. They might have had an argument, but now Burgess going to carry it in on the near side. He gets taken over by Jatari. 12:22 to go. Second period, still scoreless. Glove to the RPI line, where it's gloved down by Johnson. Saucer pass trying to find more, and this will be icing on the Engineers as Brady Shue is the first one down to draw the whistle.
Still not a lot of smoothness in this game. A lot of missed passes, a lot of icings, a lot of not getting through the middle of the ice. Both teams have had power play opportunities and not really generated a lot. I noticed the power play not moving very much. There needs to be some more movement if you're going to put the puck in the net. You got to get the goalie leaning, and neither team has been doing that.
Yeah, neither power play got much going there, and the Bears just have one shot in the period. Engineers not much better. They have 4. That's the easy math I can do. Draw coming up in the RPI end. It sits on the dot, picked up by Hayers. He'll chip it off the boards. Race for the puck. Shue's going to be the first one to it in his own zone. Pressured by Burgess. He's the only one there. And nearly given away along the near side. Stolen by Moore. Picked up by Hayhurst. Hayhurst walking in. A shot! And that one might have caught the crossbar. Now Johnson. He'll work it down low. Spinning with it is Burgess. Trying to drop it back. Hayhurst a shot. Didn't catch it cleanly. This will hop out of play. And we get a stoppage.
Jacob Hayhurst, always dangerous out there, has very good hockey smarts, knows where the puck is at all times, knows how to get it to other people and distribute the puck. Just an all-around great hockey player.
I don't think Nieto stopped that first shot by Hayhurst. I didn't hear it hit the iron, but it came off really awkwardly. Nieto's looking around like a goalie that got beat by a shot that didn't beat the net.
Very possible. That was the first time I've seen 2 consecutive shots.
Yeah, that first shot, I think, by Hayhurst might have caught iron, but like I said, I didn't hear anything, and that's usually a pretty good indicator. Unless it catches the puck on a weird edge, who knows? But anyway, 11:49 to go in period number 2. We are scoreless here. Shots are 9-6 RPI. That's an indication. Yeah, right. 1 shot in the period, and they had a power play. But RPI did as well, but, you know, you'd figure a power play would generate more than that. I'm not even sure the shot came during the man advantage.
No, I don't believe it did. Don't believe it did. Brown only has 4, so it's not exactly an offensive powerhouse night here. I really think the first team that breaks the ice will loosen it up a little bit, maybe.
Lovisa Solander's up to 45 saves. RPI women are tied with Yale 1-1 still, but Solander, I told you she's on pace to break the record. That's why. She's incredible. Anyway, they're late in the third period in New Haven. 1-1 tie. Kendra Ferroli, her first collegiate tally for the Engineers, a junior defenseman, so that's always nice to see. When the defensemen get the goals, especially the first of their careers. Anyway, puck deep in Bears territory. Slapped around to the near side point. Riley going to pinch. Puck comes out of the zone. Riley finishes off his hit anyway.
Well, it looked like a little bit up with the arm there, but no call.
Riley back to pick it up now. Indirect off the end boards for Johnson. Working it up the boards for Linden.
Another turnover between the blue lines.
And take it back over there. Brink. Crozier. Good connection. They move it into the zone. Marching a shot. Flutters wide on the block. It was actually Maloney with that effort. As it's moved in deep. Jalin. Shot to the near point. Cannot be corralled on the backhand by Shear. He'll back things out to center. D-to-D pass finds Gottlieb. Moved along. Jalin drop pass. Brink at the far boards. Try to pass. Broken up by Johnson. Picked up by Jalin again. He'll spin it behind for Brink. Poked away by Bowman. 10.5 to go in the second period. Shot blocked there. Carried out by Bowman. He has good stick handling skills. Let's see what he does with him here. Nick Bowman on the move. Backhands it through the top of the crease. Picked up by Moore. Back to the point. Fluttering slap shot from Bear goes wide. And it's the same area where he scored against Harvard. His first RPI tally did Shane Bear a couple weeks ago. And now puck goes behind the Bears end. The Bear net. Ferrario gets it as far as the RPI blue line, but the Engineers flip it right back in deep. And it'll be shot ahead by Gottlieb. Carried on further. Bodwin into the zone. Shot deflected over the top of the RPI cage. Brink. He's watched by Bear, who falls down. Puck comes free to Stillwell. He'll hammer one off the end glass. Bodwin trying to jam it in front. It's between the legs and wasn't quite covered, but the referee behind the goal didn't see it. Savory maybe a beneficiary of a quick whistle, but RPI will take it.
Very alert by Savory to go hug that left post.
Yeah.
There was a lot of confusion. Two RPI guys were in front of Savory covering the same guy. So that left that guy opportunity to just come out from behind the net.
And we get our stoppage here to do some ice maintenance. 9:35 to play in period number 2. Savory probably had that puck covered, but it just kind of squirted out from between his pads, and he got that whistle. He was probably going to close him up, but yeah, good awareness to get to the post and not allow that one to squeak past him by any means. It was just
the whistle
kind of
blows.
there.
The whistle blows when the ref can't see it. You couldn't see it, so beneficiary there was RPI, but I think the Brown guys have picked it up a little bit. RPI needs to pick it up as much. I don't think their style of play since the first period has changed very much. I think Brown has done a lot better at getting it out of their own zone and generating some more penetration into the scoring areas of the ice.
So we have
forget,
face-off
purchase
coming
your
up in the
50/50
RPI zone
tickets at
tomorrow, the
50/50
42nd
table.
annual Big Red
Funds benefit
Freakout.
the RPI women's soccer team, and they thank you for your support.
Engineers looking to start another streak like they've had in the past. They won. There was a 17-game unbeaten streak that I'm sure you're aware of, Larry. That was kind of a magical streak in some ways.
Unfortunately, a lot of those years I wasn't living anywhere near here, and I couldn't go to those freakouts. Those are the only ones I pretty much missed.
Maybe that's part of the problem. I guess we'll find out this year, right, Larry?
I guess so.
Just don't tell anybody you're here. Moved along up the near side boards by the Engineers. Mike Gornall picks it up. He'll carry it. Drop back to Ferner. A wrist shot coming, and that one's blocked down. Morello going to spin it around. Rings out to the near half wall. Tommy Grant pinches in on the near boards. Fed back to the blue line. Skips by Whiffen. And all the way down. Savory out to leave it aside. Ferner left behind for Whiffen. Stolen away nearly by Berger. And now a hit by Berger on Ferner out to center ice. Shot right back in by the Bears. Savory going to stop it there. Far side connection to Tommy Grant. Knocked out of the air. Puck loose in the far circle. A little bit of a hook by Morello. Now a jam try in front and too much congestion for Weber. Now a shot coming wide of the RPI cage. Scoreless game. 8:42 to go in this second period. Shots are 9-7 RPI over halfway through the game. Tommy Grant going to move it ahead. Gathered up by the Bears. RPI in the middle of a change. Ferner trying to give Savory's stick back to him. And they have to pause that transaction as the puck is in the RPI zone. Now on comes Hallbauer with Linden. Far side, 3 across as they hit the line. In front, a chance there for Hallbauer. Couldn't steer it past Nieto. And now back come the Bears. Into the zone they come. It's Gessert. He gets it deep. And it's still trouble. RPI looking to get themselves out. They do. Here's Linden on the carry. Backhanded near side for Laka. Touch pass around by Bear. Now Shane Bear walking in. Far side feed. And Linden looked to pass. Finds Lappinen. Autoville Lappinen at the point. Leaves the zone with the pass to Samek. And RPI will have to back things out again.
Had 2 guys there, and he couldn't get it to him.
And RPI maybe won too many passes in the offensive zone there. Now Laka throws it into Bears territory where they take over. Gottlieb far side. Crozier gets it as far as the RPI zone. Crozier, and then we get an offside whistle here, I think, and a stoppage. 7:29 to go in the second period. Shots are 10-7 Engineers,
Fans, tune
but
in
we
to
are
Big Board
still
Sports and
scoreless.
listen to head coach Dave Smith talk RPI hockey every Tuesday morning at 11:15.
Both teams changing here, getting some fresh legs out there.
On 104.5 The
RPI
Team,
trying to snap
ESPN Radio.
Freak out long 4-game losing streak in the big game. So
yeah, some of them
that'll be
recently
tomorrow.
have not been close, so it's been very disappointing. So hopefully they can pull it off tomorrow night, beat an old rival.
Yeah, absolutely. 6th meeting in the freakout between Yale and RPI coming up tomorrow night. Bears move it out to center ice, but it's right to Riley in the neutral zone. He'll turn back towards his own zone. And now TJ Samek snaps the pass off for Hayhurst. On for Burgess, or Riley rather. Riley trying to make a move, nearly got free. It was poked away in the end. And now on come the Bears. And they're offside.
Well, offside, which is a good thing because Mr. Burgess was, the forward, was back playing defense and actually covering the man going to the net while the defenseman played the guy high at the point, which I would rather see the other way. But luckily Brown went offside, so it doesn't really matter.
Under 7 to go in the second. No score here. RPI and Brown. Engineers had a goal. It was Brady Furners disallowed due to goaltending interference in that first period. Now RPI is going to shoot it deep, and the icing is going to be negated. Shot around to the far side. Nice keep by Johnson. Bodwin gets it out to center. Nick Bowman's going to pick it up there. He's being pressured and lost the puck. Giving away Bodwin. Bodwin walking in. Toe save by Savory. He's able to kick it away.
Savory just tracked that puck beautifully.
As it's behind the RPI cage. And fed to the point. Here's Gottlieb. Up the wall for Bodwin. Now Gottlieb again. Carries it to the middle of the ice. Stops there. Takes a wrist shot. Blocked into the far corner. And now a poke check. Sends that one all the way down the ice.
A nice deflection of that pass outside the zone.
As the Bears will start over from behind their own goal. Gottlieb. Stick handling through center, trying to get around Morello. Broken up by Whiffen momentarily. And now Whiffen steals it away. And now Gottlieb's got him tied up. Going to be a penalty on the Bears. And that's the...
I think it's going to be a penalty on RPI.
Good work by Whiffen. I think it's on Brown.
I don't know. We'll see in a second. Yeah, it is on Brown.
Yeah, Whiffen beat...
No, yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
Whiffen beat Gottlieb to that puck, and Gottlieb felt like he had to take him down.
The only reason I thought it was on us was when we touched the puck, the whistle blew.
Right. I think the ref thought that Gottlieb got it. And he did. Yeah. Did he? Yeah, I guess that's.
He just swept it to the boards. I couldn't see that.
I guess that's a touch.
It's supposed to be control, not a touch, but I guess they can call that control.
Sure. Second power play coming up for RPI. 5:45 to go in the second period. We'll see if the Engineers have a little more success than they did on their first attempt. They never really got things set up. Maybe once or twice, and in the end they weren't able to generate too much offense. But
14 minutes,
the UConn game, all three times I felt like RPI's power play was really clicking. So it's a little bit odd to see it, although the layoff is much greater from the previous game. I think it was a Saturday to a Wednesday as opposed to a Wednesday to a weekend Saturday.
It also depends on what kind of penalty killing strategy the other team has, how well you can move the puck, and how well you can adapt to that. Because different teams have different styles of killing the penalty. Some play the classic box, some play a very aggressive puck chase. And if you don't adjust that, then your power play go cold. Hopefully by the third or fourth power play, you've got it down and your coach figures it out. Now the good thing here is we had a little timeout on the ice, so RPI is at the bench strategizing how to take advantage of this face-off coming up in front of Nieto to take advantage of the entire power play here and hopefully have a set play.
Face-off coming up in the Bears end of the ice. Chance to maybe send to whichever group you want out there and then see what they can do. Shots are 10-8 Engineers. A little under 6 to go in the second period. Face-off kick towards the wall. Laka back to the point for Riley. And now down low Zeke.
Yeah, Moore's being used on the point here in the classic defenseman mode.
And now Moore thought about trying to challenge that puck at center at the blue line, but ended up backing out. And allows the Bears to clear it down. Here's Moore back to pick it up, senior, out of Duluth, Minnesota. Ahead for Laka. He'll fire it in. Wrapping all the way around. Glove down there. Spent behind the goal for Laka. Laka with Leppinen. And now Jacob Laka. Into the skates of Leppinen in the far corner. Back to the point, Riley. Will Riley. Off for Moore. Near side circle, Laka. Down low.
Nobody is moving again, Perry.
Leppinen. Leppinen back to Laka. Minute 10 to go in the power play. Under 5 to go in the period in a scoreless game. Laka down low. Looking for the jam try. Leppinen, no. And now Leppinen behind the cage. Gives it back to Laka. Laka up top to the right-handed catch of Zeke. Little saucer pass there. Moore, a shot. Save. Rebound popped down. Good screen by Leppinen. Allowed that shot to come off. Now Moore walking in. A save there by Nieto as he swatted it away with the goalie stick. Now back down low, they go to the near side. Back to the point, Zeke. Zeke, backhand pass, left the zone. And offside. 37 to go on the power play. Engineers generating some shots there at least. They now have 13. 3 in a row, and that power play looked a lot more succinct than they had in the previous time around, and they got some good looks and a real good stick save. I think he got it with the paddle or the knob of the stick there.
Yeah, I think it was the paddle, but the key to the whole thing was he came way out of his net. He came out and cut the angle out very, very, very well. That puck, I'm not sure it was over the line, but that's the call. Yeah, the key to the whole power play generation was Moore. Moore was just phenomenal on that, getting shots on the other.
Clearance here as allow the Bears to make a couple of changes. Now, Sabres had to come out and play this one. Given away to the point. Shot coming, still well redirected wide. And RPI will gather it up again.
Yeah.
Maybe they will.
Well,
I took that for granted. Now Hayhurst has it.
Doing better this period is their forechecking has picked up quite a bit. They're turning over the puck to RPI in their own zone, which they were not doing in the last period.
One last gasp here on the power play. Now it's over. Engineers
Brown
are still on the attack.
Wardle
on the far side. Nice play back to the point for Bear. Now Hallbauer walking in, looking for a backdoor feed, and Hayhurst wasn't looking.
Nope.
I think he was expecting a shot and a rebound, didn't get it. Now we got a penalty coming up on RPI. It's going to be a trip behind the play. Could call interference as well. We need a touch of the puck, and we get it. And it's going to be interference.
That's just a bad penalty to take in the middle of the ice. No reason for it.
So it's going to be a third Brown power play opportunity. As they were trying to back check, and they get Burgess. He was kind of stumbling.
Well, he fell down, and then his skate, his stick took out the skates of the other guy.
Yeah, you can't really decide. The ref can't be the determiner of intent there. So
17,
he took out the player's
Burgess.
skates, trying to move up the ice. It's interference.
2 minutes for interference. Time of that penalty, 16
This will
minutes,
even up. Well, no, excuse me. This will be the third power play chance for Brown.
17 of Rensselaer
Two.
Burgess for interference.
They seem to be mounting in this period.
There seem to be a lot more penalties in this
I
period.
think there's only one in the first. Face-off win for the Engineers. And Morello a chance to clear, and he does all the way down.
Neither team has been able to do anything with it. So
that's on the bright side, right? For the Engineers in this case. Now Linden doing some forechecking on Gottlieb, who doesn't like it. Kind of fends him off with his offhand that wasn't on the stick, and now Gottlieb will carry it along. Max Gottlieb to the RPI line, broken up there and sent back the other way. Nieto stops it up and to leave it aside. As Nieto and Burgess, former Fairbanks Ice Dogs, along with former Engineer, a couple of former Engineers now, and Victor Liljegren and Jesper Orval. Anyway, RPI able to clear it out again. This is picked up here and moved out by the Bears. Drop pass, Berger carries it into the attacking zone. Whiffen going to spin it right back to center, where Stillwell picks it up. 2:13 to go in this second period. We are still scoreless, 42 on the Bears power play, and they're having trouble even getting into the zone. Marchin's going to throw it off someone's back, fired at by Samek. Second try, gets it deep on the backhand. As the Bears start over again, this is looking even more putrid than we've seen from any of the power plays in this game.
the RPI is stacking a couple guys at the blue line, making Brown dump it deep.
Shot around to the near side. Finally, the Bears able to maintain possession in the offensive zone, and it goes right through Weberg. It'll leave the zone by no doing of the Engineers. And now Jolin with some speed, far side carry, can't get by Samek, who shoots it right back down with 3, and they'll do it for the power play. Almost like it didn't happen. 1:23 to go in the second. No score, RPI and Brown. Again, no shots on that power play. As it's fed back down by Grant. This is going to be icing on RPI. And we get a whistle here. 1:10 on the clock. And Engineers are really limiting the
Caddies
shots
home
on
to the
goal
former
again.
Holmes and Watson,
They've only
proud
allowed
to
8.
support
We're almost through 2
RPI.
periods.
Take your ticket to the
Yeah, you
game.
kinda wonder
to
a
the
little bit about your
bar
goalie
after
getting
the game
cold.
tonight. Receive
You kinda
10%
wonder
off
if,
your order and enjoy
go
the
back
Caddies
between
game room.
periods and shoot some
Caddies
pucks
Pub,
on the back of the room or something,
452
because
Broadway,
he
downtown
hasn't seen any
Troy.
rubber really this whole game, and you know, you get cold and you get to see a tough shot. And that's when
Brown
fate happens.
face-off win for the Bears. Shear got a shot away, but it was well wide. He might have just been dumping it
This
in.
is the final minute of
Last
play
minute
in the
left
period.
in this
Last
second
minute
period.
of
Maybe a
play.
chance to break
And
here.
it's
Here's
the
with Zeke.
most minute of the
Zeke on the
game.
near
On your
side.
feet,
Looking
make
at a
some
shot
noise.
off the post. Zeke found the iron. Puck back out to center.
If the
On
Engineers
the far
score
side.
in this
Zeke
final
looking
minute,
for another one. And they just missed it. And now back
You'll
comes
receive
Hayhurst
a
on the
free
move. He's tripped up on his way in, and
tackle
a
from
penalty coming up on the
in the
Bears.
most minute of
This
the game.
line is explosive if you give them some room, and we saw it there on the 2-on-1, and then the penalty.
Yeah, Jacob Hayhurst just goes right through at full speed into past the blue line, and the guy just instinctively takes him down.
So we have a draw coming up. Just 36 seconds left in the second period. So this power play
to number
could carry
14,
over.
Chris Berger. He receives 2 minutes for time of
Engineers
that
hope it doesn't.
penalty,
That would
19
mean a goal in
minutes,
the next
24
36 seconds.
seconds.
Yeah.
14 of Brownberger on a slash
Leppinen's
at
out there taking the draw.
19:24.
Not a natural
It's an
center,
E.
but,
Stewart Jones Hacker
and they
Murphy
win the
power
draw.
play for RPI.
Do the Engineers work it back towards the point. Bodwin going to steal it away and flip it out to center. More there off for Riley. 26 to go in the second. Third power play chance for RPI here. Zeke stick handling in the neutral zone. He'll ring it in.
Riley goes in deep.
Yeah, Riley's going to chase it here. The most offensive defenseman the Engineers have, maybe other than Moore. Moore, a slap shot right on and a save by Nieto, and that's really what RPI needs more of.
Right.
I say the Bears only have 8 shots. That's just 14 now for RPI.
Yeah, RPI's got 14 shots. I think Moore has at least 3.
He's, of all the guys, you know he's not afraid to have a rip, especially from the top of the circle.
Exactly. He's a defenseman, so shooting from the point is what he does. So they're using him here in that role, and it's a good move.
Draw coming up in the Bears end. 9.4 seconds left in the period. Jam tries, fed all the way through. It was whiffing. Now a drop pass past everybody. That'll do it for the period. But the Engineers will have 1:25 of power play time, of which to work on a fresh sheet of ice. Shots are 14-8 after 2, but we are still scoreless here at the Houston Fieldhouse. Neither team is successful on either of their 3 power plays. Engineers third pending. But you look at the power play shots, 7-0 RPI. RPI's gotten half their shots on the man advantage. The Bears have had more time on the power play, had 0 shots in the power play.
Yeah, Brown has 0 shots on down the power play, which is astounding.
Saves in the
Penalty
second
killing.
period for Gavin Yano.
Also, I think it's a tribute to the guys. They're keeping it on the outside. That's kind of what they're doing. Brown's just passing around the outside, not getting any inside penetration in that scoring area between the circles, and that's what's keeping them off the board. I don't think I've seen a game where RPI has let up 8 shots in 2 periods ever. So this is a good sign, because earlier in the season I think they were letting up too many shots on goal, and I think that was, you know, if you have so many shots, so many are going to go in, and I think that was part of their downfall earlier in the season when they were getting some losses, was just giving up too many opportunities. So it's good to see them being able to tighten that up and keep the shots down.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back here. Larry and I will discuss all things RPI and ECAC hockey in just a couple minutes. A reminder, we are scoreless after 2, and you're listening to live coverage of RPI hockey on 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy.
Hey, last 10 seconds. If you got them, chuck them. Winning number in tonight's Slide and Dirty Chuck-a-Puck contest, puck number 101. 101, you're the winner of a prize in tonight's Slide and Dirty Chuck-a-Puck competition. Hey fans, Flowers by Pisha's fan of the game has a seat in section 17, row K, seat number 11. Plan a corporate event, surprise someone special. Call Flowers by Pisha, your award-winning full-service floral shop, steps from Monument Square, Russell Sage, and RPI. Flowers by Pisha at 272-1980, or stop in at 501 Broadway in downtown Troy. Flowers by Pisha. RPI Hockey would like to thank the Rensselaer Alumni Association, Nigro Companies, Pattison, Sampson, Ginsberg, and Griffin Law Firm, Bellini's Counter, Sodexo, the Hilton Garden Inn in Troy, National Grid Foundation, Turner Construction, the Desmond Hotel, Reifenberg Construction, the Recovery Sports Grill, East Stewart Jones, Hacker and Murphy, Stanley Steamer, Stewart's Shops, BSN Sports, Nigro Companies, Rensselaer Honda, Repeat Business Systems, RPI, Off-Campus Housing, and Correct Energy, all proud sponsors of RPI Hockey. The Hudson Mohawk Figure Skating Club is it. Hudson Mohawk Figure Skating Club in its 67th year, offering learn to skate classes right here at Houston Fieldhouse on Saturday mornings. Classes are for all ages. For more information, check out the program at hmfsc.org. Award-winning chili, fall-off-the-bone ribs, hand-cut steaks, and 10% off with your RPI staff or student ID. Legendary deals like this only found at Texas Roadhouse, 105 Wolf Road, Colony. Come dine with us at Texas Roadhouse. And don't forget, tomorrow night, the Engineers take on Yale University in the 42nd annual Big Red Freakout. Stop by the box office and pick up your tickets. Fans, head to the Hill at Moser this weekend. The Hill, a beer garden and European staycation. Enjoy beverages and small plates at the Hill, 379 Congress Street in Troy. The Hill, proud to support RPI Athletics. February 6th, this is the 20th annual Spring Fair Career Fair. Current students and graduates of all 5 schools will be in attendance. With questions, email ccpd@rpi.edu.
One more time here from the Houston Fieldhouse. RPI and Brown getting set to start the third period. Before we do, we'd like to thank the Rensselaer Union, which provides funding for WRPI and all the club-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of RPI hockey, football, and baseball. A reminder, WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to WRPI.org. You can pick up our broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So long as WRPI is broadcasting, we'll provide that broadcast on our internet feed. Once again, that's WRPI.org. We talked about it at the top of the break, but Engineers leading in shots 14-8, including 9-3 in the second period. Brown 0 for 3 on the power play with 0 shots. The Engineers in the middle of their early stages really of their third power play. They have 7 shots in their first 2 power plays. Face-offs have been heavily in favor of the Engineers all night. They're currently at 26-10 RPI. Jacob Hayhurst 9-4. Jake Morello 7-2. Tour Linden 4-2. Otto Ville-Lappinen 2-0. No one has lost more than they've won for RPI. So that's one way to do it.
Well, we've only lost a few face-offs all night.
Right.
I think the reason that they're doing that is that they're just beating them to the drop. I mean, it's not a physical battle. It's just they're just beating them on the drop.
Mears Moore, Larry was right, has 3 of RPI's 14 shots. Brett Bodwin has 3 of Brown's 8 shots. He found himself around the net a couple of times. So we are underway in period number 3. A power play for the Engineers will continue for a minute 20 as they look to bring it out from behind their own goal. Brady whiffing on for Jacob Hayhurst. Feeds it across far side. Thrown towards the net. Bouncing puck hit his skate. It'll be gathered up by the Bears and cleared but not out. Good play there by Bear. While the whistle does come, it says yes, it did leave the zone. It was very close to the blue line. Shane Bear gloved it down and sent it back in just a little bit late.
Yeah, I think that was definitely out, but he jumped pretty high again.
So a minute 4 on the power play. In the box still is Chris Berger.
RPI is 0 for 2 on faceoff so far this period.
Hey, you're right about that. And 2 big ones when you're on the power play, and your power play only has a minute left.
Yeah, this is a great chance to get the crowd going and get a point up on the board.
Engineers ring it in. Behind the goal it goes. Slapped around to the far side corner. Pinching in was Gornell. And this is going to be cleared again by the Bears. 40 seconds on the power play. Looks like they're throwing T-shirts to the fans. It's not helping my sight lines in the offensive zone, but that's okay at this point as the Engineers are in their own zone. Mears Moore up the far side for Jacob Laka. He'll move it in. All 3 of his goals have come on the power play. He leads the team in that department still. Now Riley trying to walk his way in. A shot and a save. Rebound behind the goaltender, and the whistle goes.
Quick whistle.
Jacob Laka went and tried to stuff it in. In the end, it never actually wound up in the net. I want to point that out. But we could see that puck sitting behind Nieto. It was kind of fluttering on the ice, and the fans could see it, but the referee behind the goal did not.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about with Will Riley generating some offense. He can just walk it in.
That puck was loose. It squirted out. Anyway, glove down by Riley at the near point. Thrown to the far side. Point was open. Over to pick it up. Laka. He'll spin it down low. 5 seconds to go on the power play. Leppinen tried to give it back to Zeke. Picked away and cleared by Jatari off the boards, but not out of the zone. Kicked at by Hallbauer. Has it pinned up at the far point. Finally, it leaves the zone. Engineers 0 for 3 on the power play, as are the Bears. Shot in by Brown. Berger to play. Out of the near corner. Chris Berger. Thought about handing it off to Dawson. Ends up losing the puck out of the zone, forcing the Bears to reset. It's Berger again. Has Maloney with him, lost it there. Laka off for Moore. Mears Moore stick handling. Moves it in deep on the dump, takes a hit. Lee finishes off Shoe, and it's picked up there by Dawson. Make that Maloney. He'll dump it in. Rings around to the far side, over skating, and it's picked up by Lee. Tommy Lee wraps it to the near half wall. Tie up there as Weberg's in on the forecheck. And now Weberg on the puck. Taken back by Jake Harris. Throw it towards the point. Weberg back on it there. And now to the near side, centering pass broken up. Moore has it, and now Bowman. Nick Bowman on the carry, trying to walk his way in along the far boards.
He's got 3 guys.
Yeah, runs into Shoe and Burston, and allows the Bears to clear to center. Now Johnson has his man lined up. Takes Burston out of the play. Shot comes in from Marchand. The save is made by Savory. He doesn't know where it is.
It's stuck somewhere.
And it's stuck against that right post. And Savory, I think, he made kind of an awkward save with his foot. I think the puck stuck to him, and he didn't know where it was. 17:05 to go, third period. No score. Shots are 15-9 Engineers.
Great hit by Johnson in the middle of the ice as he got caught pretty much. And it was going to be an odd man rush going the other way. And Johnson took his guy out and allowed the defense to get back a little bit. Good forwards back checking as they should.
As we have a draw here, it's third period, not quite 3 minutes old. We are even strength in this one. But
Sure what the holdup is.
yeah, I'm not sure either. The
Unless they're
officials are talking about something.
Maybe they're discussing that hit. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't.
Brown was in the middle of the ice talking to one of the referees, complaining.
I don't think they're going to look at anything in this case.
Going over to the Brown bench.
They are. Usually, they'll only look at a hit if, first of all, I think it's been called a penalty, and then they'll look at to see if it was worthy or not of being a DQ. That's kind of the only way you look at it.
Right.
I don't think that's anywhere near where we're at this.
No,
this
that was not a dangerous hit at all.
Anyway, whatever they're talking about, we may never know. Face off here, push back to the point. Bears on the attack. Shot comes in, skipping wide off the stick of Ferrario. And lifted along up the near side boards. Engineers on the chase. Ferrario's there, pestered by Burgess. Picked away by Gottlieb, chips up the glass. Samek shoots it right back in.
Yeah, this is
Ferrario back to get
forth.
it. Near side, Gottlieb. And now picked up by Brink, who lifts it to center ice and all the way down. Will this be icing? Shane Bear doing his best moonwalk there to try and slow himself down, and did enough to draw the icing. When you kind of spin your wheels, it looks like you're skating faster than you are.
Exactly. I think this game is going to be decided by something like what we're about to see, which is a face-off in an offensive zone, and somebody wins it back. That's what's going to cause this to be a 1-0 game.
Face-off, clean win for the Bears here. They've done a much better job in this period. And now, but it's nearly stolen away by Morello. The Bears have it on a pass down the middle. Now Brink moves it into RPI territory. Off for Bodwin, looking to turn and shoot. Broken up by the skate of Ferner. And working off the near side boards for Whiffen on the center. Gathered up by Jatari. Given right back away to the Engineers in their own blue line. Tipped in deep by Morello. He'll chase. Wrapped up in the corner is Stillwell by Morello. And Slingerland's New York native has picked up his scoring pace as mid-portion of the season's moved on. Now a chance for a 2-on-1. Centering feed. Broken up by the back check. I think that was Gornell, and it was, who made a nice play to break up that centering pass. Could have been a 2-on-1 down low, if not for the interception.
Well, he made a nice play. Fortunately, it almost went in off his stick, but he did make a nice play coming back because he's a forward, for one, and shouldn't even be back there. But that was one of the few odd man rushes we've seen all game.
Face off here in the RPI zone. Under 16 to go in regulation. No score, RPI and Brown. Marchand behind the cage. Last time I can remember a game going scoreless through regulation was RPI and Notre Dame last year. Number 4 Irish were here, and they ended up winning in overtime. Now here comes Linden. walking his way in. Still plenty of hockey left in this game, mind you. As it's wrapped to the far point, waiting for it, Riley. Near point, Johnson holding, firing through traffic. It goes wide. Now Laka on the far side circle. He'll cycle. Stillwell has it there. Lifting it up the boards, knocked out of the air by Linden. Lappinen trying to jump on it. Stillwell pressured by Linden, gave it away again. Linden along the far half wall. He's pinned up. Bears take it back. Stillwell picks it up behind the cage. He'll skate it near side now down the middle. Make it Jatari. Jatari will lift it in deep and chase on his own. Will Riley there, junior assistant captain from Toronto, will leave it aside. Chipped out to center by Bowman. Gathered up there by the Bears as Moore finishes a hit. Brown gets it deep. Riley up the far side wall into the body of Bowman. He tries to corral, does a nice job to chip it along, gets it back. Bowman on the carry, left at the point for Moore. Moore keeps it alive. Glove down in the Bears end by Shu. He'll lift it on further. Now Tommy Grant ahead for Moore, swept in by Bowman. RPI will chase, left down by Nieto. Behind the cage, it'll be played by Dawson. 14:20 to go in the third in a scoreless game. On comes Marchand into the zone. Make it Burston rather. Burston holding. Turns it back towards the corner. He'll one-hand it down low. Little touch pass back to the circle. A shot is blocked down. And the rebound is swept away by Bowman. Lifted high off the glass and out to center ice. Third period, 6 minutes old. Both teams changing as Brown has it in its own end.
Could be icing. Nope.
And they wave it off as Savory made an attempt to play, they say. That could come with some controversy if the Bears take advantage here. He took one hard step and then stopped. Anyway, puck out of the zone. That won't matter anymore. Puck deep in Bears territory as Zeke went into it to the corner with Ferrario. Tommy Marchand near corner of his own zone looking for a pass and finds Gottlieb. Max Gottlieb, connection to center, tipped in deep by Weberg, set aside by Savory, and he'll eventually cover with Marchand charging in. Shots are 15-10 RPI with 13:23 to go. We are still scoreless.
Yeah, still not a lot of opportunity for anybody to put the puck in the net. A couple of odd man rush things going on there, but not good passes to close it out. So we're still down to who's going to make a mistake, I guess, to cause a goal at this point, or who's going to finally pick it up and make a good end-to-end ice-to-ice play. I mean, they just nobody is taking the puck up the ice, getting in the zone cleanly. It's all dump and chase. That's why we've seen so many icings. People are dumping it in before they even get over the red line, and it just hasn't been a very clean skills game. Yeah, the NHL's having their skills competition right now. None of these guys were invited. No, I don't think so. Not tonight.
In this case, that's not allowed. Anyway, yeah, it's going to take a play. It's still worth 2 points, even if you play a kind of slug them, drag them out game, or you play the perfectly played 3-2 game. So plenty to play for the final 13:23 here if you're RPI or Brown, and these two teams around the same spot in the standings. And probably will be here on out. So these are even more important, really, than ones against the upper echelon clubs that RPI will play down the stretch.
Yeah, RPI needs to pick it up, or they're not going to get the puck in. They need to generate some more opportunities. They just have no opportunity to do so.
Brown 1 point ahead of RPI.
That goes without the power play.
Right.
So maybe Brown makes a mistake with the power play.
Bears on the attack here. Shot skips in and they score. A shot from the blue line. I think it was redirected. It's 1-0 Brown.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who got it. Looks like it is Baudouin who's claiming it. It's a 1-0 Brown lead on a tip in front. Looked like a pretty harmless shot from Jolin from the blue line.
It was harmless, but Bowden's in the right spot.
Right.
And the crowd is saying goaltender interference because there's a Brown guy who basically is sitting on top of Savory. But yeah, it was just a little bit after the fact. Was he a distraction? Probably, but he was not illegally in there.
No, and more insult or injury to insult there as he got kind of kicked in the head after the fact. Did Savory. That's what that back pad is for on that goalie helmet. It could have been much worse. Savory looks to be all right.
Yeah, it was just a low shot tipped up in the top of the net, and that's the kind of goal that was going to cause this game to be 1-0.
So now a goal in this one. Honest times they say that a goal can change a game. We'll see how it does here if you're RPI. This is not going to be icing.
RPI was down 1-0 to Army, I believe, a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And came back and scored, and then scored in overtime. So.
There you go. Oh, you're right. They were down for a long time in that game. I think the Army scored in the first or second period.
Yeah, and I think RPI scored in the last minute or two.
Extra
right?
attacker and an overtime goal. So yeah, certainly nothing done here. But the Bears on the attack. It's gathered up by Savory and now moved out to center. Gornell into the zone.
See if Brown changes their style a little bit. It's only 1-0, but they might.
And now on they come, near side. Into the zone comes Weber on the carry, trying to backhand it. It was broken up by Ferner. And now Tommy Grant up the boards, trying to gather it in. Stolen away by Marchant. His centering pass is broken up by Ferner. Did a nice job to go down to a knee to take away the centering feed opportunity.
Yeah, Gornall needs to move off the boards and get that puck, not wait for it to come to him up the boards.
Broken up by the glove of Ferrario. Engineers get it as far as center, but turned right back in. Marchant walking in a shot, and he zinged it wide.
He's always dangerous.
Wrapped all the way out of the zone. Bears pick it up in their own end. Jatari. Puck pinballs off some skates, ends up deep in RPI territory. And it's moved along by Riley. One hands it up the wall, stolen away. Moving in with it is Harris. Harris a shot. That was blocked by Ferner again. He gets in the way of a lot of pucks. Now another shot comes in. I think that hit the skate of one of the Bears players.
Yep.
That was Crozier. And they turn it right back in. Bears have the upper hand now. That one caught the pipe and it goes out of play. Just skimming off the top of the bar as we have a stoppage.
So that goal seems to have picked Brown up. It needs to pick RPI up because they're on the losing end right now. RPI comes back with their top line here.
Face-off coming up in the RPI zone. Wrist shot coming. They score again. This time it's Jatari. And his wrister, I think, found his way in cleanly past Savory. He stuck that glove out, but it went right over his shoulder.
That was clean, right in the corner of the net, over his shoulder. That's the importance of face-offs. We were discussing earlier. No, that just went straight through into the net.
So that makes the comeback effort slightly more difficult for RPI.
One of the wingers has to go out to that guy, and he was clean to just shoot the puck.
Puck in deep now, poked along, and now Bear's going to lift it along near side. Moore trying to clear, he can't. Ferrario. Now a shot comes in, it skims wide. It's a firing range right now. Bodwin kept alive. He has it now. Bodwin in the corner, back towards the point. Gottlieb. Ferrario. He'll just filter it right back down low. Brink watched by Bear. Bear gives him a couple of whacks. Picked up by Hallbauer. He lost it there to Bodwin. Bodwin lifts it along. Engineers having trouble just getting the puck. Here's a slap shot over the top. A wild effort there from Gottlieb. I don't know if that puck was sitting for him. Now down low they go. There's a tie-up. Brink and Bear. Hallbauer trying to lift it along. And comes free to Jolin. Jolin across. Shot coming. Saved by Savory as he got across to stop that try by Brink. And now finally a chance for RPI to break out just because the Bears are running out of gas. They make a change. Mears Moore stick handling, trying to go all the way in, and he finally lost it as soon as he got to the high slot area where it's picked back up by Brown. 9.5 to go. Still plenty of time if you're RPI. You have to get something going offensively. Here's Maloney. Going to lift it along. Ferner in that near corner. Bumped by Crozier. Comes loose to the near half wall. Morello on for Whiffen. Here comes Gornell trying to make a move. Whiffen on his backhand. Drop pass. One-timer goes wide off the stick of Ferner. Now Whiffen feeding it through everybody out of the zone.
It hit a stick, so it hopped up high. Nice play, though. The drop pass by Whiffen, the back pass almost.
Whiffen, stick handling, leads it on for Morello. He'll carry into the zone, force Grant offside. He was trying to jump into the play, and that's what you kind of expect from your defenseman. In a game where you're down 2-0, all of a sudden you have to start maybe throwing some bodies forward, and Grant just a little bit ahead of the play.
Yeah, I think Morello tried to do a little bit of a lateral move at the blue line, and that caused Grant to go in early. Shots have evened up quite a bit. It's now 15-14, and Brown has used 2 goals on top of that to take the lead here.
9:51 on the clock. As we have a stoppage here, media stoppage. Oh, actually, no, there's ice cleaning. There's 2 kinds of stoppages now. There's the media stoppage and the ice cleaning stoppage.
What the media stoppage is for?
Yeah, well, they're uniform throughout the league. That's why. Which is fine. We just, I sometimes forget when they're going to occur. I think it's 14 and 6 minutes. Anyway. So we have one more coming. The Engineers know when they're coming. They know, and they look to use them to their advantage when they're making line changes. Now Tommy Grant's having a bit of a chat here with someone who will listen to him. RPI down 2-0 with 8:51 to play in the 3rd period. Both goals coming here in this frame, both even strength goals for Brown. And we want to remind you are listening to live coverage of RPI Hockey, 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy. Perry Lascaris, Larry Pulverin up here at the Houston Fieldhouse.
I think Dave Smith had that opportunity during that timeout to really perk the team up a little bit, pick them up, tell them, it's only 2 goals, get one early, and then pull the attacker and, the goalie for attacker and get the other one. But I think he needs to get one here pretty soon to get some momentum going.
Center ice, TJ Samek going to shoot it in. Stillwell gave it away at the far wall. Good pressure by the Engineers. Linden tried to feed it back to the point, hit a skate. Laka's going to pick it up in the far corner. Jacob Laka behind the goal. Hand it off there. Try to give it to Lappinen. It was read pretty well by Stillwell. He tries to clear to center and does. Try to slam it along with Samek. Pops right to Lappinen. On for Laka. Laka walking in. A shot rising over the top. Karams to the far side. Probably the right move. It was a 2-on-1 that he might have been able to feed a pass through. But in that situation, take that shot. He just missed it high.
Yeah, he did give a look. He gave a look pass there, and then he took the shot instead. And I think that was the right move because, quite frankly, the passes haven't been working tonight. But he had a good opportunity. He was certainly in a scoring area, and he just whistled it wide.
Shots are 6-1 Brown in the period. RPI still leading overall in shots, 15-14. And Brown's going to take their timeout here with 8:03 left. So I think just because of the fact they weren't able to change there, and going to get a rest for the guys that are out there.
Well, Brown's not going to need their timeout later on the extra attacker scenario, probably. So they're probably thinking now's a good time to use it. 8 minutes left in the game. Gives RPI again another chance to rest their better players.
Right.
Get a play set up. I see the coach down there drawing stuff on the whiteboard.
And the thing about that timeout is there's going to be another stoppage in 2 minutes.
Right.
So I mean,
RPI could easily put their 2 good lines out for the next
rest of the game. Yeah. Not the rest of the game, but
well, they still have their timeout, so yes, they could do it probably for the
every
rest
2.
Of the game.
Yeah, that's the timeout every 2 minutes if you really wanted one. Still a lot as far as rest goes. Anyway, 2-0.
We're missing Polino tonight.
Absolutely. 8 goals.
Patrick Polino.
Top goal scorer.
Not only his goals, but his skating and his ability to create stuff and penalty kill and all kinds of other good things he does on the ice.
No. Missing Patty for sure. Here's Kyle Hallbauer in his own zone. He's going to lift it up the wall. Glove down there by Zeke. 8 minutes left in this one. Under 8 now. 2-1 Bears with a lead. They're on the attack. Beaudoin to the point. Ferrario, a shot well wide. Comes all the way out to Burgess on the far side. Breaking is Hayhurst trying to find him. Good read by Gottlieb. As it's fed back to the near side. Hallbauer over to pick it up. He'll slam it up the wall past everybody. This will be icing on RPI. 7:27 to go Goals from Brent Bodwin and Zach Jatari have the Bears in the lead. They came about 2 minutes apart in this third period.
The RPI not managing the puck well. Lots of turnovers, lots of icing, lots of giveaways, and even in the offensive zone. They're passing the puck right onto Brown sticks. Not good. They need to change their style a little bit, even this late in the game.
Puck in the far corner of the RPI zone, trying to drag it behind is Colin Burston, the sophomore from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Wrapped to the near side now, poked at and out towards the near half wall. Chase Zeke gets knocked over, does get it deep. This is going to be icing again on RPI. We've seen plenty of those here tonight both ways.
RPI cannot change again.
Yeah.
These guys have been out there for a little while. We'll see if RPI can win the faceoff, dump it, and get the change, but dump it cleanly.
Here we go, face-off in the RPI zone.
Boy, Brown has done much better in face-offs in this period.
They have. Now a look-ahead pass for Burgess. They're offside. And it'll send that one to wherever that pass came from. I think it was in the neutral zone. So
I think that pass got slowed up in the snow in front of the bench.
We do have a face-off coming up at neutral ice. I can tell you the period draws are 10-4 Brown. RPI still leading overall, 30-20. Tommy Grant off the glass near side, gloved at by Ferrario. Would have been a hand pass if the Bears were the next to touch, but they aren't. So we play on. 6:40 left in this one. Back to Bears territory. Ferrario across for Gottlieb. Max Gottlieb near side. Now Maloney. Chipped in by Harris. This has been the stereotypical Brown game this year, it appears. Score a couple of goals and win a close game. When they have gotten wins, they are 6-9-3 coming in. They have 3 ties in the league. 3-5-3 in ECAC hockey play. Good breakout for RPI here. Whiffin near side. Shot coming. Blocked down. Marchant throws it up the wall. Kicked at by Whiffin. And finally moved out by the Bears. Shot in deep by Berger, who takes a hit from Lee. Now Riley. High off the glass near side. Kind of deadens the puck. Whiffin trying to jump on it. He lost it. And it'll be gathered up and fed to the far side corner. Lee trying to get there. He's pinned off. And it's fed down ice. This should be icing on Brown. And Matt Brady says it is. 5:38 left. RPI down 2-0 here. Getting down to crunch time in this game.
Good job by Tommy Lee there. He was actually forechecking against 4 Brown guys that were back and caused them to, quite frankly, overhandle the puck and then ice it.
Draw coming up in the Brown zone. And a clean win back to Johnson. He'll stick handle, lost at the blue line. Riley over there to help out. Puck's out to center in RPI territory. Riley behind the goal, finds Laka. Laka up the wall for Lepinen. He'll pick up speed and eventually dump it into the far corner. RPI on the attack here. Puck behind the Bears goal. Touchdown and lifted out to center. Rolling towards Savory. He will cover up and get a whistle.
It's a little spray there from the Brown player.
I always thought that, yeah, some goalies might like that because it's really hot inside that gear.
Well, Riley kind of skated away and gave the guy the opportunity.
Yeah.
Riley should be standing right in front of his own goalie there, protecting him, making sure that guy doesn't get anywhere near him.
Turns out it goes down as the 15th shot for Brown, which if that's your 15th shot, you're doing a pretty good job defensively if you're RPI. The tip you can't concern yourself too much with if the Engineers, but the clean shot through, I'm sure Savory's going to want back.
I agree. That was one that he should have seen. The other one happens.
Hey, he might have been screened by his own defenseman. It came right off the draw, but at the same time, you want to make that stop. But judging by his glove and where it was, and looked like he reached for it and just didn't get there.
I thought his reaction was pretty indicative that he felt he should have had it.
Yeah. This is our final media stoppage here. Engineers still have their timeout as Brown has used theirs.
I think you'll see the Hayhurst line come back out. And out of the 5 minutes left in the game, you'll probably see them at least 3.5, I would think. something in that neighborhood.
We do have a face-off coming up in the RPI zone here, so you got to think Dave Smith has been relatively consistent, pulling his goalie between 1 minute and 2 minutes left in the game. You might see it even extended a little bit out. More than that, if first of all, the Engineers have to start maintaining possession in the offensive zone. It doesn't make a ton of sense to do it. You can't do it if the puck's in your own end.
That's correct.
Off the draw, kept in by Beaudoin, far side. It'll be Burgess to win it and flip it back out to center. Beaudoin on it. Back for Ferrario. Up the near side wall and all the way down. Was it touched? I guess so. Ferner's going to play it there. And now poked at by Bear. Burgess up the boards, lost it to Beaudoin. Beaudoin looking for a lane, drops it back. Good tie-up in the end by Gornall. Lifting out to center. Some speed here for Hayhurst, trying to walk his way in. Hayhurst goes hard into the end boards.
That's not good.
And he's back to his feet.
Yeah, but he looks like shaking up a little bit.
Yeah, he hurt himself there. Just going as hard as he can.
Yeah, he's holding.
Yeah.
Not good. He is going back to the dressing room.
Yeah, it looks like. Good news is he was able to get up on his own, but he certainly hurting from that collision.
It was probably a burst of speed not worth it.
Yeah, it was a good effort, though. He was trying to turn that puck back towards the center of the ice in the end. He just couldn't get a grasp on it. So RPI currently without Hayhurst and under 4 minutes to go in this game. They'll need someone else to pick up there. This is tipped in deep and wide of the goal. Nearly handled by Nieto. Just went wide of the cage. Flipped towards the line, kept in by Morello. Into the corner it goes. Whiffen trying to get there. He does. Pushes it even further around to the near side corner. Whiffen to the circle. Handoff for Riley. Bouncing puck. Jumped on by Riley. Turning towards the far corner. Knocked away from him. Then he runs into, I think that's Burston over there. And it wraps around to the near side again. Jatari high in the air to center ice. Glove down by Whiffen, who's playing D over there. Now RPI touches up their onside lock and moving in. Tried to stop in the circle. He's met by a pair of Bears, including Marchant. And they're able to move it out to center ice.
Brown is definitely playing four players back.
Yep.
So their forwards are helping out big time.
Lifted up the glass. This is a recipe that works. You get a 2-goal lead, and some teams decide to sit on it. This is one of those times, especially as this clock winds down. 2:49 left.
Yeah,
in deep by Leppinen. Engineers on the chase. Ferrario takes a big-time hit from Laka. Puck pinned up there. Comes free to Crozier. Pinching in his Bear. Engineers going to take some chances defensively as it's moved back out.
Hey, good news, Perry Hayhurst is back on the bench.
Good. I didn't think he'd be gone long, and yeah, he's back out there. As Maloney fires that one in from distance. 2:28 left. Shots are 16 apiece now. It's really been at a premium shots in this game, and the two that have gone in go by the way of the Bears, and that's why they lead 2-0 with not a whole lot of time left.
He's out on the ice now.
All right.
That's good.
You don't expect too much less from Hayhurst, the junior from Mississauga, Ontario.
Not a big guy, but boy, is he is durable, though. He does not get injured very often.
Well, we'll keep these stoppages coming.
The RPI just called timeout.
Yeah, yep, well, I know. You had a timeout now at 2 minutes, 2:28. You had a timeout at 4. We had a timeout at 6 and 8 something for this ice cleaning. It's almost like football.
Wow, that's not that slow.
No, it's not that slow. You're right. You're right. Hold me back. .228 to go. We'll see how quickly the Engineers are to pull Savory here.
Yeah, right now the face-off's at the wrong end of the ice.
Yeah, you can't do it now.
The hard part is, unless you manage the puck well, it's hard to pull your goalie without getting an empty net goal against, because all you gotta do is turn over the puck once and that's it. It could be in your net. So RPI has to really focus on managing the puck if you're going to pull the goalie up.
So we have a face-off coming up in the RPI zone. Shots are 8-2 Brown in this period to pull things even for the game, 16 apiece. They've really owned this period all the way around.
Absolutely.
It shows on the scoreboard. Lifted out to center. Laka has it there.
It's kind of happened in the Clarkson game too. That played Clarkson good for 2 periods, and then third period Clarkson got, I believe, 3 goals.
Yeah.
And
I think they had 4, but yeah.
Put RPI away.
So, yeah, this is RPI really owned the first 2, but couldn't get that go-ahead goal. You see that a lot when you don't get that goal. A lot of times the other team comes back to score. Anyway, 2 minutes to go in this one. Off comes Savory. 6-on-5 hockey here. The Engineers have had some success here this year, 6-on-5, including last time they were here. Riley Arister over the top. Yeah, Laka and Gottlieb were both down. Now the puck finds them.
Should be a penalty in the corner there, but they didn't call it.
Gottlieb roughs up Laka again, although they're both kind of heading to the ice on their own. As now there's a tie-up in the near corner of the Brown end of the ice. 1:35 left. Puck still between some skates in the wall here in the near corner. Gornall trying to work it out, and he does. Back to the point. Riley up the wall. Here's Leppinen. Hit a skate with that centering feed. Now Linden's tied up. They can't find the puck. It's in the near corner again. Linden zings it back to the point. Near side point, Riley walking in. A shot. Hit bodies. Flip towards the net, and it goes just wide on the backhand try by Leppinen. In the air to center. There's an empty net for RPI. Riley calmly just turns with it away from Brink. And now Zeke. 1 minute to go. Engineers get it deep. They'll make a partial change on their unit. 6-on-5 to the point. A shot on through, sticked away by Nieto. Picked up at the near point. This is Ferner. Turning towards the top of the circle. His shot goes wide. Jam try there. Flipped it in front. A puck just goes wide off the stick of Gornall. 36 to go. Engineers knocking on the door. Fed to the far point. Ferner across. A shot by Zeke. Save made. Rebound! Oh my! Kept down. Burgess was denied somehow, I think, by Nieto. 20 seconds to go. Up top for Ferner. A wrister and a glove save by Nieto. And maybe, just maybe, the Engineers should have pulled Savory a minute or so earlier.
That was their best.
Oh my!
By a mile. I talked about puck management. That was how they should have been doing it all game. Burgess, I don't know how he missed from there.
I think he put it wide in the end. We're getting a good look here from RPI TV. I think it caught the glove of Nieto.
I think it got the end of Nieto's glove. He was sprawled.
Oh my goodness.
That is a heck of a save.
Yeah. You can see that one on SportsCenter potentially, although it's not necessarily game saving as they're up by 2, but tremendous save nonetheless from Gavin Nieto, and then an empty netter to boot. All the way down from the blue line. It is Bowden with the goal with 4.8 to go, and that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yep.
4.8 seconds left. It's kind of a one-time pray for rain type of shot, but it goes in. The second goal for Brent Beaudoin, who doubles his goal total for the year tonight. Had 2 coming in, now he has 4.
Yeah, not too hard to do in an empty net, though.
Yeah. He fired it right down the middle. 3-0 is the final. I don't know, that's how it'll go down.
I believe that's 5 in a row now. You've lost to Brown.
It is. That's the most in this series history. Most consecutive wins for the Bears. They had it before. It was 4. Now it's 5. And RPI will most likely have to wait until next season to end that skid. Shots final were 19-17 Engineers, but that won't matter to the folks in the room, or the folks in the stands for that matter, as the Bears win it 3-0. Face-offs were 34-22. And neither team able to capitalize on the power play. Looms, more and more over the Engineers, who had their opportunities, and really their power play was moving the puck pretty well on 2 of the 3 opportunities they had. They weren't able to get that go-ahead goal. Brown was, and that was definitely the difference in this game. It really changed. We talked about how that first goal would change the game. It really changed it in the favor of Brown.
Absolutely. I picked Brown up and gave him some confidence.
Didn't help.
Although I think Brown, up to that goal, was still playing better. I think they got better each period. I think RPI stayed the same for all 3 periods. I don't think, except for that last flurry when they pulled Savory. Other than that, I don't think they changed their style very much from the first period to the second period to the third period, and I think Brown did. I think Brown adjusted a little bit, saw some deficiencies in their play in the first period, and picked it up and made some adjustments as the game went on, and that caused them to get that, quite frankly, by chance deflection, right? You always deflect it and you try to steer it toward the goal, but a lot of deflections are by chance and within the net, and that just gave them a lot more confidence.
I'll run down the scoring here. Larry will come up with his offensive and defensive engineers of this one. We'll get out of here, and the only thing left next up is the Big Red Freakout tomorrow. We'll have that one for you here on WRPA. Anyway, all the goals came in the third period. 6:56 of the frame. Brent Beaudoin with his 3rd goal of the season from Justin Jalen, and Alex Brink made it 1-0. Then at 9:08, it was Zach Jatari from Jack Gessert. The only assist made it 2-0. Another even strength goal. Then Brent Beaudoin unassisted at 19:56. Made it 3-0, his 2nd of the game, 4th on the year. Gavin Nieto picked up the shutout. He made 19 saves. Owen Savory had 14 at the other end for RPI. For Nieto, that's his first shutout of the year and his 2nd career shutout as a member of the Bears. Larry.
Boy, having an offensive player of the game is a tough choice because nobody really dazzled me at all, to be honest. Do I actually have to pick one?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
It's part of the rules.
I will pick one. I will pick Mears Moore for his shots and play on the power play more than anything.
All right.
That's about the only offense we had pretty much all night. So I'll give it to Mears Moore for the offense.
Defensively?
For the defense, I'm going to give it to Brady Ferner for scoring a goal that didn't count, and also just for overall, I don't think he really got beat.
Yeah, he did a great job. Ferner was good again.
He had a very sound game. I don't think anybody had like a stellar game where they were generating offense and breaking up 2-on-1s and all that kind of stuff, because there really wasn't that kind of play tonight. But Brady seemed to play a pretty sound game back there.
Absolutely. All right. So before we go, I'd like to make a couple thank yous. I'd like to thank the Rensselaer Union, which provides the funding for WRPI and all the club-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of RPI hockey, football, and baseball. A reminder, WRPI is on the World Wide Web. Point to your browser to WRPI.org. You can pick up our broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as long as WRPI is broadcasting. We'll provide that broadcast on our internet feed. Once again, that's WRPI.org. I'd like to thank DJ Scooter back at the station for getting us on the air and keeping us there. Our next broadcast is our next sports broadcast. Larry will be here with Joe Pisacano tomorrow night. 7 o'clock puck drop, 6:45 pregame. We'll have that one for you. So with that, we'd like to thank you all for listening to us. For Larry Pulver, and I'm Perry Lascaris, thanking you for listening to tonight's game. Your final score was Brown 3 and RPI nothing. You've been listening to live coverage of RPI hockey, 91.5 FM, WRPI Troy.